Hey, if you're new to my channel, then consider liking and subscribing. It would really mean a lot to me, and honestly, it'd make my day. If you already did, thank you so much. Oh, and by the way, if you like listening to fan fiction, check out my other channel. The link's in the description.
The Comet Wish by Moriana 19. What would you do if one night you made a wish on a comet, and the next morning woke up on the Going Merry? Join Rose, an otaku who's about to have the adventure of a lifetime, as she lives through the arcs of One Piece with the Straw Hats. Adios.
After treating Yokozuna from his fight against the sea train, the Straw Hats made a stop over to Kokura's lighthouse where they spotted a young girl named Chimney. "Granny, some pirates got Yokozuna," Chimney yells as she runs to the lighthouse. "What? Hold on, Chimney." Kokura comes out of the building with a Den Mushi in her hand. She's calling reinforcements. Zoro prepares himself to fight when Rose puts an arm in front of him. "I wouldn't worry too much, see?" She points to Kokura, whose face is completely red from the alcohol. "What was I calling for? Burp, I forgot." Kokura slurs as she holds the Den Mushi, shocking the entire crew. "You're drunk?" After things have calmed down, Chopper finished treating Yokozuna as he walks with him over to Kokura and Chimney. "How are you doing, Yokozuna?" Chimney asks Yokozuna ribbits in response. He says, "I'm doing fine. Thanks, Chimney. I still couldn't beat the Puffing Tom though," Chopper translates. "Is Chimney your name?" Robin asks. "Yay, I'm Chimney. That's my granny Kokura and Gonbi the cat." "What did he mean by the Puffing Tom?" Nami asks. "That's the name of the sea train. It brings passengers every day to different islands." "Why were you fighting the sea train, Yokozuna?" Usopp asks. Yokozuna ribbits his reply that Chopper translates. He says, "I won't tell you pirates, but I'll say that I'm gonna give that sea train what it deserves." "You need to stop doing that, Yokozuna. It's becoming a bother," Chimney says, but Yokozuna shakes his head. "So he's trying to beat the sea train? In that case I won't eat him," Luffy says. Yokozuna ribbits a reply that Chopper translates. He says, "As if I would let you eat me, human." "So, where are you kids heading?" Kokura asks as she guzzles down her alcohol. "We need to get to Water 7 in order to meet the shipwrights," Rose replies. "Well, you guys are in luck. Water 7 is a perfect place for shipwrights. They have the best shipwrights in the world there. Here, take this, it's a map to get the company and a letter of recommendation. With this you should get them to fix the boat," Kokura says as she hands Nami the pieces of paper. "Thank you very much, Kokura," Rose says as the others board the ship and set sail to Water 7. "Whoa! This place is huge." Luffy and the others look around Water 7 as they travel through the town. Rose looks at the place with just as much excitement as Luffy. "This is amazing. It's like traveling through Venice. This is so much cooler than back home." The crew starts to set anchor and get ready to go to the city. "When we go to Galila, let's get a big guy as a crew member along with a bronze statue," Luffy says. "Forget the bronze statue, Luffy. Also, we need a SXY girl as a shipwright," Sanji says. "Forget about that. As long as the person has the right skills it doesn't matter," Zoro says. "I don't care who's our new shipwright as long as we can fix the Mary," Usopp says in excitement, causing Rose to realize something important. "Oh no, the Mary. How am I going to help the crew through this? From what I can remember there are a few main lines of events on this island. One is the news of the Going Merry and the others are." "Snap out of it, Rose. Let's go." Luffy grabs her as they, Nami, and Usopp start to leave the boat. Wait a minute, Luffy. What are we doing? Geez, if you were listening to the conversation you would know that we're going to pawn off the gold to fix the Mary, Nami says. "Are you guys sure you need me along? What are you talking about? You're going to be needed most of all when we pawn the stuff." Rose looks at Nami skeptically. "Wait, why would I be needed?" Nami gives her a reassuring grin. "Just trust me on this. Now come on, let's get going." The others nod in agreement as they start making their way to the pawn shop. In order to get there the group rented 2 Yagara bulls in order to travel around the city. Rose and Luffy ride in one of the bulls and Nami and Usopp ride in the other. "Hoo-hoo! This is awesome!" Luffy yells as the bulls show off their abilities by going against the currents. "This has got to be one of the coolest things ever," Rose says in agreement as she looks around the city with excitement while the Yagara speeds up. "Slow down, you guys, don't try to lose us," Nami yells as the bulls make their way into the shopping district. Don't worry too much Nami, we won't. Whoa, before Rose could finish, the bull took off at full speed with the two of them in tow. I said wait. Nami and Usopp's bull starts to speed up as it realizes that Luffy's bull wants to make a race out of the trip. Wah! How do you stop this thing? Nami screams as the bulls keep charging. Let's not lose Yagara. Usopp yells as the bull nods while speeding up to catch up with Luffy and Rose. Ha ha ha. This is crazy. The pawn shop is up ahead, right Yagara? Rose asks with the bull nodding. Then how about I give you a speed boost? The bull tilts his head in confusion but he nods. Do it, Luffy yells as he grabs onto the reins. Rose, don't you dare. Nami yells out her threat when she sees the look in Rose's eyes. Relax Nami. We'll meet you over there. Rose focuses and blasts her wind to the back of the boat, causing the bull to go full speed. Hey, that's cheating Rose. Usopp yells as he watches the pair gain a huge lead. All's fair in love and war my long-nosed friend. Rose yells back while giving him a mock salute as she blasts her wind. She. Way to go Rose. We're going to win for sure. Luffy turns to the back to see the distance between them and the others, and not looking where they're going. The bull went up an uphill slope by accident and got sent flying courtesy of the wind. Whoa! Luffy and Rose scream in excitement while the Yagara screams in terror. When they see that they're about to hit the ground, Rose uses her wind to land her and Luffy on the ground along with the gold while gently landing the bull into the water. Wahahaha! That was great! You alright Luffy? Yay! That was awesome! She. How about you Yagara? Rose finds the bull completely shaken from the experience as he gasps for breath, trying to calm down. I'm sorry for scaring you. Here, consider this a peace offering. Rose gives him a piece of the water 7 meat as Nami and Usopp approach them. Are you guys okay? Usopp asks as the two nod while Nami runs out of the boat to check the gold. Once she sees that everything is there, she sighs in relief, then gives off a deadly aura. Rose, Luffy, Nami slowly approaches them while they sweat drop in fear. Luffy, on the count of 3 I'm getting us out of here, so get ready. Rose whispers to Luffy, causing him to nod as they step back from Nami. 1, 2, 3. Rose uses her wind to make the two of them jump, avoiding Nami's wrath, then grabs the gold and places the two of them back on the bull. Yagara, get us out of here. Hurry, Rose says as the bull nods and goes full speed to the pawn shop with the others in suit. Wait till I get my hands on you. Lose 1 piece of treasure and you two are fish food. The two troublemakers hear Nami's voice as they make their escape when they make a sudden stop. Hey bull, why did you stop? Luffy asks with the bull pointing his head to the pawn shop in front of them. Oh crap, we're here. Rose mutters as the two stiffen when they turn to see Nami approaching them. Rose gives her a nervous smile to try to calm her down. Hey Nami, just like you wanted, not a single piece of gold is missing, right Luffy? Alright, nothing was lost, so no hard feelings, right Nami? She. They both sweat drop and chuckle awkwardly, trying to lighten the mood, but Nami doesn't budge, causing them to freeze when Nami whacks Luffy, but her attack goes through Rose. Rose blinks in surprise. Wow, I've gotten better with my abilities, hee. Shut up. Nami yells as she tries to whack Rose again but goes through her and lands face first on the ground. The others try to stifle their laughter until Nami gives them a death glare, shutting them up before she turned to Rose. Alright, then for your punishment you're going to be helping us get more money out of this deal. Rose quirks an eyebrow at the declaration. How am I going to do that? Nami whispers her plan to Rose, causing her to be surprised, then sighs. So that's why you wanted me to come? Okay, I'll try it, but if it doesn't work, don't blame me. Trust me, once I give the signal, just start working your magic. Usopp looks to the girls with fright. This combination is going to be deadly. It should be fine. Luffy says, not reading the situation. Come on, let's get the gold in. The guys carry the gold into the pawn shop along with the girls, where the appraiser brings them to the VIP room and gives them his offer. What? 100 million? Luffy yells, causing Usopp to cover his mouth. Keep quiet, you idiot. You're really going to give us that much money? The appraiser nods as he inspects the gold. Absolutely, these are of high quality and worth every penny. Scam artist, better get ready. Rose takes a step back as the others jolt when Nami kicks her foot on the table. I have 3 things to tell you, Mr. Appraiser. First, the kid in the straw hat has a 100 million belly bounty. Second, I don't think your offer is good enough for us. And third, Nami raises a hand, giving Rose the signal to start using her wind to form a whirlwind around them, scaring the appraiser further. If you lie to us again, not only will my devil fruit using friend here blow down the building, but we'll also be taking your head for the fun of it. The appraiser pales as he hears the last part. I'm sorry, the real price is 320 million, please don't kill me. That's more like it. Thank you very much. Nami motions Rose to stop using her wind and gives him a sweet smile as he runs out of the room to get the money while the others cheer. Whoa, I didn't expect that to actually work. I'd better not cross Nami too much. The 4 of them grab their bags of the money as they make their way over to Galila. Now, what do I know about Galila? Iceberg is at the top. He used to work with Frankie and Tom and helped to build the sea train. Polly is one of the best shipwrights along with Lucci. Wait. Crap. Rose stops, causing the others to stop. What's up, Rose? Luffy asks, I need to go check something out. I'll hold the 20 million, you guys head over to Galila. Rose flew away before any of them could say anything. What was that about? Usopp asked. Maybe she got hungry, Luffy said. Not everyone thinks about food. Usopp says, it should be fine as long as she doesn't lose the money. Let's hurry over to Galila. Nami says as the 3 walk over to Galila. Rose flew all over the city searching frantically for Robin. I can't believe I didn't remember CP9. I should have gone to the city with Robin and Chopper. I hope I'm not too late, Robin. Robin. Where are you? She flew street by street in hopes of finding Robin until she spotted her following a man in a mask. She lands on the roof of a nearby building watching them walk. Crap, I gotta get her away from him. Rose mutters as she uses her wind to start plucking Robin from the ground, but had to put her down immediately because Robin sprouted hands to hold her down to the roof. Don't do this, Robin. They can't be TRUSMMPH. Hands started covering her mouth too as she watches the member of CP9 and Robin go past her into the alley. She struggles to get out of her grasp, but it was no good as an air door started forming. She uses her wind to make them pull back and tries to get Robin away again, but Robin uses her hands to hold her down tighter until she couldn't focus her abilities anymore. Strange winds today. Must be signs of Aqua Laguna. The CP9 member says. I agree, we should get away from here before the wind gets worse. Robin replies as she walks into the air door. No, muffled screams were made trying to convince Robin to stop, but she doesn't listen as the door closed behind the 2 and the arms disappeared. Rose jumps to the ground and tries to go through the door Robin went through, but it's gone. Damn it, Rose punches the wall in frustration. Rose-chan, are you alright? Sanji asks as he approaches her. I'm fine, Sanji, I just messed up. Rose kept her head down, not wanting to look at his face when Sanji embraced her, causing her to blush. Don't worry, whatever happened it'll be alright, Sanji says with a reassuring smile. Thanks, Sanji. Rose stammers as she gets out of the embrace as quickly as possible. What happened? Also, have you seen Robin? I saw her walking here. I just saw her, but she disappeared. I'm gonna go find her. Rose replies and he nods as she flies to search the streets. Damn it. Now Robin is in CP9's hands. How else can I mess up? Usopp. Rose looks down in shock as she finds Usopp beat into a pulp on the road. She lands right next to him and grabs him by the shoulders. Usopp, speak to me, what happened? The Frankie family, I'm sorry, I lost the money to fix the Mary, I'm so useless. Tears started streaming down Usopp's face as he apologizes repeatedly. Usopp, I know the money needs to go to the Frankie family, but Rose grits her teeth in frustration. Usopp, you're not useless. You're the best sniper I've ever seen, don't worry about the money. I'm Rose. Usopp. Nami pulls the Yagara over in front of them and runs over to the 2. Rose keeps her head down, hiding her eyes with her bangs as she gently releases her hold on Usopp and starts making him float, and causing the citizens around them to be shocked. Nami, I need you to take Usopp to the ship. Rose puts her hair up as she makes Usopp float to the Yagara. Wait, what are you going to do? Nami asks as Rose is walking away. I'm going to beat the living crap out of that family. Rose flies away in a rush before anything else could be said. Rose flies out to fight against the Frankie family, But she forgot something important. Wait, where can I find them? She lands on one of the streets and walks into a shop to ask for directions. Excuse me, sir, do you know where I can find the Frankie family? You want to find the Frankie family? You can find them on the northeast side of the island. Thank you. Before she leaves, she spots a bow staff in the store. A staff? Perfect, I can use this. Rose lifts the staff and tests the weight and movement with it. Sir, how much for the staff? Hold on, miss, that's not just a staff. I'm sorry, but I'm in a rush. Is this enough? Rose gives him a handful of belly that he happily accepts and nods as she runs out of the store. Rose flies out to the Frankie family house where she hears a party going on. Wow, 200 million, that's just what we need, Frankie yells. She glares at the house while she grips her staff, so Frankie hasn't left yet. Rose turns around to see Usopp catching up to her. What are you doing here, Usopp? I thought Nami took you to the ship. I snuck out, I can't let you fight alone for my mistake. In that case we're working together, but if it gets too much to handle I'm taking you out of the fight, understand? Usopp nods as he aims his slingshot at the door. Usopp exploding star. The door explodes as the two walk in while the boys in the Frankie family are shocked. Who dares to attack the Frankie house? One of the guys says as he sees the two of them walking in. It's that weakling, and a chick? Another member says. Give us back the money. Usopp yells. I take it you two are members of the Straw Hats? Frankie asks. That's right, bro, this guy's a weakling. Another member says, causing a gust of wind to send him flying to the ceiling, hitting his head and knocking him out. What the? Where did that wind come from? One of the guys say as they look around confused. Give it back. We need it to fix our ship. Usopp yells as he runs to Frankie to grab the money. As the members try to grab him, Rose sends them flying, then Pile drives them to the ground. Watch out for the chick. She's a devil fruit user. The guys surround her and send her a bara, makes each one go through her while sending them flying. Usopp tries to blast Frankie with an exploding star, but Frankie blocks it, then he punches Usopp to the ground. I can't give you the money, we need it. Your ship must be very important to you if you're willing to go to this length. But too bad the crew has worthless members like you who can't even. Before Frankie can finish, Rose sends him flying, hitting his back to the wall with full force. Big bro. One more word about my friend and I'll make you wish you were all robot, you thieving cyborg, Rose says as the boys keep surrounding her. How dare you hit our bro, you brat. The guys keep trying to bring her down while Frankie staggers back up and turns to leave with the money. I'm impressed you figured me out, Freckles. I'll let you two know something. My name is Frankie. If you want to leave this city alive, then don't agitate me. Guys, I'm leaving them to you. The guys start to grab Usopp as Frankie starts walking out the back door. Let me go. Give it back. Rose uses her wind to create a whirlwind around her to send the guys flying as she rushes to help Usopp. Leave him alone. Rose summons up powerful wind from her bow staff to push them away from Usopp. Sorry, Usopp. This has gotten to be too much. Rose uses her wind to push Usopp out of the house. Haha, smart choice not letting the weakling distribution. Rose kicks the guy in the nose, causing him to fall back before he could finish. Wind blade. Rose swung her staff to form a blade of wind that hit some of the guys and broke through their armor, causing the family to pale. My threat didn't only apply to the boss, you sons of. Another guy tries to strike from above with a sword, but she blocks the attack with the staff, which starts to separate. What the? Is it broken? As she pushes the sword away from her, she separates the staff to reveal a blade on each end of the halves. What the hell? In the confusion, the guys took it to their advantage by punching her and sending her flying. They catch her and hold her down. Crap. That's an interesting toy you got there, kid. Too bad it. Gum gum pistol. Luffy sends a punch to the guy in front of her, knocking him out. Rose uses the confusion to her advantage by blasting the guys off of her to join Luffy, Sanji, Zoro, and Chopper. Hey guys, glad you made it. How are you holding up, Rose? Chopper asks. I'm good, Doc, I still have some fight in me. Good to know. Zoro says as he unsheathes his swords. The Straw Hat Kid is the captain. He looks as scrawny as the weakling. How about I give you a free shot? Luffy used that shot to break through the armor, scaring the brothers completely. We gotta run. The guys try to run, but the crew made sure not one of them escaped. Wind blade storm. Rose used the swords to her advantage to form small wind blades out of them, slashing through the armor. "Since when did you use swords?" Zoro asks as he slashes through one guy after another. "Since about 10 seconds ago." Rose replies as she sheathes the swords to turn the weapon back into a staff. "I thought it was just a staff, but I'm not complaining." Rose forms a whirlwind from her staff, slamming members of the family into the upper wall and then slamming them to the ground. Hold on you guys. This is about the money, right? Well, it's not here anymore. The Wind Girl can vouch for that. No matter how much you wreak havoc, the money is long go. Luffy cuts him off with a punch. "It's not about the money anymore. You guys have really ticked us off. We're going to pulverize you." The guys try to fight back, but the crew was too much for them as they finished beating them to a pulp and destroyed the Frankie house. The crew walks away from the rubble to an unconscious Usopp. "What happened to Usopp?" Rose asked. "When you sent him flying out of the house, you made him land on his head and knocked him out," Luffy answered. "Sorry about that. When I can't see where my wind is going, it's unpredictable." "No need to apologize, Rose-chan. You were just getting him out of danger," Sanji says as he lights a cigarette. "So, what now? Should we wait for Frankie?" "We wouldn't know when he's coming back," Zoro responds. After Chopper finishes treating Usopp, he goes back to Heavy Point. "Guys, come help me lift him." "We should go back for now," Rose says as the guys nod in agreement and take Usopp to the ship. "I'm so sorry. We lost all of that money because of me," Usopp yells as he bows his head to the crew. "Don't worry, Usopp, we still have 120 million, Rose says. "Be glad you're still alive," Sanji says. "We just gotta wait until Frankie comes back, no big deal," Luffy says. "So, can we still fix the Mary with 120 million? Usopp asks. "About that. We're getting a new ship," Luffy said, causing Usopp to be completely shocked. "Before you say anything, Usopp, you need to know that. Hold on, don't joke around. It's because we don't have enough money anymore, is that right?" Usopp cuts Rose off as he's trying to make sense of this. "No, Usopp, that's not the case," Luffy replies. "Then what is it? Tell me." "It has nothing to do with the money. Then why are you spouting nonsense?" "Calm down, you guys. Stop yelling, we can talk about this," Zoro says. "Yeah, take it easy, let's talk this through," Nami says. "How can I stay calm after hearing that?" Usopp yells. Luffy couldn't hold back anymore. "We had no choice, Usopp. The Mary can't be fixed." Usopp stares at him in shock as he heard that. "What are you talking about, Luffy?" "It's the truth, Usopp. The shipwrights said it themselves. Did you always listen to strangers? The Straw Hats I knew wouldn't give in to a marketing scheme?" Usopp grabs the collar of Luffy's shirt. "Don't go saying things like you're a real captain. I've already made my decision. If you don't like the way your captain runs things, then just..." Before Luffy could finish, Rose uses her wind to separate the two of them to the opposite sides of the room. "Both of you shut up and calm down." "Luffy, never finish that sentence unless you're willing to face the consequences, Usopp. If Luffy had another choice, you know he would have taken it." Both guys pant from arguing. Luffy was the first to speak. "Usopp, I'm sorry, I didn't mean." "No, it's okay, Luffy. I know what you were going to say. You were just saying how you feel, right?" "What was that? If you want to leave this ship behind, then you might as well leave me behind too. I'm not strong like you guys. I know that I can't catch up. I can't even hold on to a couple of bags. Who knows what would happen in the future? I will only lead to more problems." "Usopp, that's not true, you belong here," Rose says, but he ignores her. "You want to be the Pirate King, Luffy, but I don't want to go that far. We should go our separate ways." Usopp walks out to leaves the boat with the others following. "Usopp, wait. We can work this out," Rose yells. "Where are you going, Usopp?" Sanji yells. "I'm going wherever I want to because I quit the crew." Usopp walks further away from the ship while ignoring the pleas of his former crewmates. "Usopp, let's talk about this," Nami yells. "Come back, Usopp," Sanji yells. "Don't leave, Usopp," Chopper cries while Rose, Zoro and Luffy stay quiet. He stops 10 feet away from the ship before turning back and glaring at Luffy. "I can't be with you guys anymore. The ship belongs to the captain, so fight me, Luffy. If I win, I'm taking the Mary with me. I challenge you to a duel at 10 o'clock tonight. After the fight, it's over between us." Usopp runs back to the city to get preparations done while Chopper leaves the ship to go after him. Luffy heads to the men's quarters with Nami trying to convince him to stop the fight while Sanji and Zoro head into the kitchen. Rose stays outside and flies up to the crow's nest. "What the hell am I doing?" Rose mutters as she sits down on the crow's nest and holds the crystal in her necklace. "Damn it. Not only couldn't I stop Robin, but Usopp still left the crew. I know things work out, but can't I do anything to help? Maybe I shouldn't mess with the storyline, but if that's the case, then what about the battle of I'll cross that bridge when I get there? Sigh. At least for now I'll try not to mess with the storyline too much. I need to talk to Robin to at least get some doubt in her head. If I talk to her now she'll just put me in a hold. Maybe tomorrow I can." "It's your fault Usopp left Moss Head. What were you doing when I was taking care of them, Love Cook?" Rose was dragged out of her thoughts by Sanji and Zoro's argument. "At least I can stop these idiots from arguing," she mutters as she flies into the kitchen. "I'm not afraid to separate you guys like I did Usopp and Luffy, but I promise I won't be gentle." Both guys freeze when they hear Rose. "But Rose-chan, it's all Moss Head's fault," Sanji says. "She's right, Sanji, there's no point in arguing about it," Nami says as she and Chopper walk in. "I thought you went after Usopp?" Zoro says to Chopper. "I tried to finish his treatment, but he sent me back and said, 'You and me are finished.'" Tears are streaming down Chopper's face, causing Rose to get on her knees to hug him. "Things are going to be alright, Chopper. I promise everything will work out in the end. We just need to endure tonight. Can you do that with me?" Rose whispers to him while rubbing circles in his back. He nods and hugs her back. "Everyone was so happy this morning, and we still don't know where Robin is," Nami says while the others remain silent. "I'm sorry everyone, if I told you about Robin now you would spring into action, but I can't mess things up again." Rose looks down in guilt. "It's 10 o'clock, Usopp's coming," Zoro says as he and the others walk outside to see Luffy ready to face Usopp. "None of you come down," Luffy says to the crew, then turns to Usopp. "I hope you don't regret your decision, Usopp. Don't think I'm like your previous enemies. I know you inside and out. And I have 8,000 followers ready to fight, surrender or die. I know you're lying, Usopp. Then eat this." The fight commenced with Usopp pulling every trick in the book, from pretending to be vulnerable to catch him off guard to shooting shuriken, all the while spreading smoke onto the battlefield in order to power up his exploding star. "Usopp is so fast," Chopper says as he watches the fight. "I don't like this," Nami says. "You and me both, Nami." Rose pats the head of the Mary. "I know you don't like this either, Mary. I'm sorry." Gum Gum Pistol. Luffy delivers the final blow to the fight by punching Usopp and knocking him down. "It's over," Zoro says. "Luffy, Usopp." Tears start streaming down Rose's face as she watches the end of the fight. "Do what you want with the Mary. We're going on ahead. Goodbye, Usopp. It's been fun." Luffy starts walking to the crew with his straw hat hiding his face. "Everyone, grab your things. We're leaving tonight." Everyone was quiet when they packed, allowing most of the crew members' tears to fall freely for the loss of their nakamas. "What are you doing, Rosie?" 12-year-old Laura asks her 11-year-old foster sister Rose, who's doing research on the computer. "I'm studying up on some comets along with the Timor comet." "You mean that made-up comet that your parents were trying to prove real?" "It's not made up, it can go to other dimensions, so it's hard to trace." "Huh? Man, are you sure your parents were really college professors?" Marie adds in as she walks in the room with Rose glaring at her. "What was that? I mean, come on. A comet that can go to other worlds, not to mention could take you to one, sounds as believable as those Chinese cartoons you watch existing. Anime is Japanese. Anyway, I know it's hard to swallow, but it's the truth. One day, I'm going to prove that it's real." "Haha. Why don't you just quit that weird stuff and focus on more important things? Like making yourself look like a girl," Laura says. "If looking like a girl means dressing like a hooker, then no thanks." Rose turns her attention back to her research, not seeing the anger on the twins' faces. Both girls pulled her out of her chair and threw her onto the floor. "If that's how you feel, why not let us take this then?" Marie grabbed Rose's necklace, which earned her a punch in the nose from Rose as she took the necklace back. "Never touch this necklace," Rose yells as the three of them started fighting. Both twins clawed at her arms while Rose whacked them in the nose and gave them a fair amount of hits. "Break it up," Rick yelled, causing all three girls to stop. "Marie, Laura, are you girls alright?" "Wah, our nose is hurt," Laura cries as she and Marie cling onto their father. We were just giving Rosie beauty tips, but she attacked us, Marie says. Rose. Why can't you get along? Rick asks. Rose glares at the twins for making up lies. She's lying. I was minding my own business when they started insulting my family's research. Do you mean that nonsense about a comet? Rick gives an exasperated sigh. Let's go. The girls then walks up to her and smacks her across the face. Listen you brat, I don't care if you believe in fake comets or whatever, but you're not allowed to put those ridiculous ideas into my angels' heads. Now, go to your room and don't come out for the rest of the day. Rose went to her room while holding onto her necklace. I don't care what they say, I'm not giving up until I leave this world. She sat down hugging her knees while tears streamed down her face. Rose woke up from the bad memory in the middle of the night at the inn the crew checked into after leaving the ship. I can't get a break tonight. Of all the things I could forget, why couldn't I forget about them? She got up and started to walk up to the roof where Zoro and Chopper are fast asleep. Poor guys, where's Luffy? She looks to see Luffy sitting on the roof of another building depressed. Luffy, I can't mope anymore. I gotta do something to make him feel better. Rose looks around for an idea until one hits her. She flies over to Luffy's side with a smile on her face and turns to the city. Now let's see, if I jump from there I could, or those rooftops could be more fun, or maybe. What are you doing, Rose? Luffy doesn't move from his spot nor turns to her when he spoke up. Oh, hi Luffy, sorry if I was bothering you. I was just figuring out the best way to go roof jumping. Luffy turns to her with curiosity. Roof jumping? Yay, you see I'm from a large city. Not as cool as this one, but anyway, one of the things I've always wanted to do was roof jump as a way to travel. Since I have devil fruit powers now, tonight is the perfect opportunity to fulfill that dream. You're welcome to join me if you want. Excitement starts to show in his eyes, but he starts to look down again. I don't know. How about this? We race to the top of Water 7 and the winner gets the last piece of Water 7 meat I've saved up. I'm in. Luffy jumps up with excitement and gets ready. Perfect. Alright, we're free to use any route it gets to the top. Of course, devil fruit powers are allowed as well, but I have to hold back on flying. You understand the rules. Yosh. Let's go. Gum Gum Rocket. He pulls his arms and sends himself flying from one roof to another with Rose in pursuit. I didn't say it was alright to start yet, cheater. Rose uses her wind to jump from building to building while Luffy uses his arms to catapult himself across the city. All's fair in meat and fish. Do you only have food and fighting in that brain of yours? I said all's fair in love and war. Oh, well that too. Luffy yells as he sticks his tongue out at her but collides with a wall and starts falling off the building. Rose sends him flying up in the air as she passes him, then puts him down to go after her. That's cheating. Luffy jumps from roof to roof in a rush to catch up with Rose as she jumps from roof to roof with ease. All's fair in meat and fish, right? Rose sticks her tongue at him and gives him a mock salute as she jumps from roof to roof with Luffy in pursuit. This is so fun. So this is what it's like to roof jump like a leaf ninja. I'm so glad this idea is working. The top of the city was getting closer for the two crew members. They're coming to the top from different sides of the city and at each other full speed, causing them to not be able to stop when they reached the goal point and ended up colliding with each other. Rose landed on top of Luffy and accidentally landed her lips onto his, causing her eyes to be as wide as plates. She immediately gets off of him and turns away from him with her face as red as a tomato while Luffy sat up confused while touching his lips where she kissed him. She looked at the ground while trying to reduce the blush. What the hell? What is this? Or an host club? What was that? Luffy asked, still confused. She still doesn't look at him while answering. You know what a kiss is, right? Was that what we just did? She calmed down and turned to look at him. Yay, that was it. I'm sorry about that, it was an accident. Don't be. I had fun. I doubt he meant the kiss was fun. You're right, the roof jumping was pretty awesome. The kiss was pretty fun too. Anyway, who won? Rose looks at him with shock. He liked it? I admit it was a good kiss, but wait, I liked it too? Rose, wake up. She snaps out of it to the sound of Luffy's voice. Sorry for spacing out. Anyway, I think you won. You can have it. Awesome, we should get back. The sun is starting to come out. Yay, you're right. We should do this again sometime. Rose freezes and starts blushing again. I mean, we should race again. Not that I didn't like the kiss. I really did, I mean. She. You're pretty funny, Rose. We'll do it again before leaving. Thanks for convincing me to join you. I needed this. He gives her one of his toothy grins, but there was still some sadness in it. Her face softens when she sees his expression. Luffy. Sigh anytime. You know, I've seen a lot of friendships that are just as strong as yours and Usopp's who went through even worse fights than that and still kept their friendships alive. I know that once Usopp calms down he'll start reconsidering his choice. He'll come back, we just gotta be patient. She pats him on the shoulder with a assuring smile that shocks him, then he looks down and hides his eyes with his hat. I hope so, thank you. He grabs her arm and locks her in an embrace. Luffy. She freezes when she starts to feel tears hitting her shirt. Luffy. She returns the hug and pats him on his back while letting him cry in peace. Sanji walks up to the roof of the inn to find Zoro and Chopper awake. I guess you guys couldn't sleep either. Where's Luffy? He went on a date with Rose, Zoro said with a mischievous smirk. Haha, very funny moss head, but really where is he? Last night we woke up and saw Luffy and Rose go roof jumping, Chopper says. What? Sanji yells with his face in complete shock. Morning guys, are you okay Sanji? Rose says as she and Luffy land on the roof. So Rose, how did the date go? Zoro said, keeping his smirk on, causing Rose's eyes to widen. There was no date, we just raced. How did you know about it anyway? You were sleeping. Zoro and I woke up to you guys talking and saw you convince him to go out with you. Chopper says while Sanji starts crying comical tears and Luffy looks at the scene with confusion. Rose rubs the bridge of her nose and gives an exasperated sigh. Like I said, it wasn't a date, we just raced. I don't know what a date is, but the race was pretty awesome. We even Rose covered Luffy's mouth before he could finish while a blush crept on her face. They don't need to know about that, Luffy. Rose's reaction causes Zoro to become curious while Chopper looks to the scene with confusion and Sanji starts flaming up. Luffy, what did you do to? Did you go to the peninsula, Sanji? Rose yells, eager to change the subject as she lets go of Luffy. How did you? Yay, I went there to see if Robin would come back but she didn't. I'm going to the streets to find her. I want to go too. Chopper says. Rose looks at the city and thought. If I go with them Robin would just stop me. I need to be alone when I talk to her, so maybe for now I'll check out CP9. Guys! Nami yells as she runs up to the roof. Last night Iceberg was shot. What? Luffy yells in surprise. Who's Iceberg? Sanji asks. He's the head of Galila and the mayor of Water 7, Nami responds. I'll go look, Luffy says as he jumps down from the roof. I'm coming too, Nami says. I'll go with you guys. Rose says as she uses her wind to take Nami and herself from the roof to where Luffy is. Nami and Luffy take the Yagara to Galila while Rose flies after them. They get over to Galila where the place is swarming with concerned citizens. Whoa, there's so many people. Hey Rose, can you fly us over to the shipyard? Nami asks. Not a prob. Before Rose can finish, Frankie's theme song starts playing. Time for Frankie to come, What's going on? Luffy says as he looks up to see Frankie with his sisters dancing behind a curtain. Rose sighs as she puts her hair up. Luffy, I hope you're ready to fight because Frankie's here. What? Did someone just say my name? I know you're there, Straw Hat. Get ready to face the most suupper man in Water 7. Frankie makes his signature pose as he reveals himself. Oh Panty Guy, I'm Luffy, he yells out to Frankie, getting his attention. You're Luffy? I see you brought Freckles along too. While I was away you kids made a real mess at my place. You even beat up my men. I'm super pissed off right now. Where's the money? Nami yells out, I spent it. Pirates shouldn't be demanding money back after it's been stolen. That doesn't matter. I'm not going to be happy until I kick your ass, Luffy yells in fury. I'm the one who's gonna kick your ass, Straw Hat. Frankie takes in a deep breath while the crowd starts running away. Oh. Rose uses her wind to pick up Nami and Luffy to get them out of the way from Frankie's fire breath. Whoa, he breathes fire? Luffy yells, completely surprised. Is he a devil fruit user? Nami asks. No, he's a cyborg, Rose says as she lands the three of them on the street. Right, you are Freckles. Frankie yells as he lands in front of them. Now, taste my strong right. He launches his attack at Luffy but Rose pulls him out of the way on time. Thanks Rose, I'll take it from here. Luffy says as he faces Frankie. Rose nods in agreement and steps back. Send that pervert flying, Luffy. Nami yells in the sidelines while Rose stays quiet to watch the fight. The guys fight with one blow after another, both wearing each other out until a member of Galila attacks Frankie. What are you doing here, Straw Hat? Polly says as he and the Galila guys walk into the scene with completely pissed off expressions on their faces. So, Lucci and Kaku are here. I better get ready. Rose brings out her bow staff as she watches the scene. Unshow your face here after what you did, Polly yells out in fury. I didn't do anything, Luffy yells. If you're gonna bluff, then I might as well tie you down. Rope action half knot. Windblade. The Galila guys look to Rose with shock as she cuts the rope with her wind before it could hit Luffy. You shouldn't be ganging up on people, Polly. She heads to Luffy's side and helps him to dodge their attacks while sending them flying away from them. Kaku tries to throw his chisels at her, but they went through her. So, they have a Logia devil fruit user on their side. You assholes, don't mess with our fight. Frankie yells as he gets his arm out, weapons left. He shoots bullets out of his arm at the shipwrights, but they dodge and knock him out. Lucci comes at Rose and Luffy with one of his 6 powers, but Rose barely managed to block the attack with a wind blast and send him flying at the other shipwrights. So Lucci is this strong. You alright, Luffy? Yay, thanks for the help. What the hell's going on? At least give me a reason. Luffy yells over to Polly. We're the ones WHO should be asking that. Why did you shoot Iceberg last night? Polly's declaration startled the citizens around them. Luffy and Nami are shocked at the accusation. We didn't shoot Ice Pops. Don't lie. Iceberg recognized one of the shooters to be one of your crew members, Nico Robin. The declaration shocks Luffy and Nami. Rose made Luffy duck as Kaku threw more chisels at them. Pirates aren't going to be protected by the law. Whatever punishment you receive, you can't complain, Kaku says as he draws more of his tools out. I know the law can't protect us, but Robin's not like that. Don't talk about her like you know her. Let me talk to Ice Pops. Robin couldn't have done this. Luffy yells as he and Rose get up. There's no way we're letting you get close to Iceberg, Lulu says as he and the others get his saws out and the crowd starts surrounding the 3 of them. Robin doesn't have any reason to attack him, Nami yells. I don't care how much you complain, you 3 are finished. Messing with Iceberg means messing with the entire city, Polly says as he gets his ropes ready. Just let me talk to Ice Pops, Luffy yells. Not a chance. Polly tries to use his rope again, but Rose redirects the rope with her wind. Impressive devil fruit power, kid. Why aren't you going on the offense? Polly asks. There's no reason to be fighting you. We weren't the ones that shot him. Luffy, I'm getting us out of here. Rose starts flying with Luffy and Nami, but Lucci jumps in the air and punches her to the ground, causing all 3 of them out of the air. Rose. Nami and Luffy yell in worry while she staggers back up. Ku, don't think it's that easy to get away from us. Hattori chirps for Lucci as he and the other shipwrights continually attack her and Luffy while Nami was being held back by the citizens. So, Lucci and Kaku are this strong. This is nuts. Rose dodges Lulu and Tilestone's attack when Kaku threw his chisels again, but this time they hit Luffy and pin him to the wall. Hang on, Luffy. Rose tries to pull the tools out, but there wasn't enough time as Tilestone shot a cannon at them. Wind barrier. Rose uses her barrier in order to protect herself and Luffy when Frankie steps in. I've had enough of this crap. Quit taking my prey, Galila. I'll show you what it means to mess with Frankie. Frankie puts his arms together and aims his arms at the shipwrights. Coup de vent. He launched his coup de vent, causing plenty of damage to the shipyard as well as an opening for Rose to get the 3 of them out of there and safely seated on one of the rooftops. Are you two alright? Rose asks. Better question would be, are you alright? Lucci hit you pretty hard, Nami says. Don't worry about me, it's just a scratch, Rose says with a smile as the wind gets rougher. Then why is your wind acting up? We should get you to Chopper, Luffy says with worry. This wind isn't mine, it's Aqua Laguna's. Aqua what? Luffy asks. Aqua Laguna. It's a typhoon that comes here once a year. Anyway, Iceberg's mansion is up ahead if you want to talk to him, Luffy. Now's the best time, Rose says as she stands up. Good idea, you two stay here, I'm going in, Luffy says as he breaks into the mansion alone. So that was a fraction of CP9's power. Eni's lobby is going to be some fight. Now's the time to go talk to Robin. Rose turns away from Nami and starts flying. Nami, I need to go out for a bit. Tell Luffy I'll be back later. Rose, wait. Rose doesn't listen to Nami's yells as she flies away. Geez, neither of those two can stay still, Nami says as she stays on the rooftop. What do you mean you're leaving Robin-chan? If it's about the accusations, don't worry, we don't believe it, Sanji yells as he and Chopper are at the other side of the canal from where Robin is and is trying to make sense of what she's saying. You guys are innocent, but for me it's the truth. I'm the one that shot Iceberg. You guys are going to be my scapegoats for the incident, Robin says with a cold face. What are you talking about, Robin? Please, let's go back together, Chopper yells. Thanks for letting me stay with you guys. Goodbye, Robin says as she walks away with Sanji trying to swim after her. Robin walks a fair distance away from Sanji and Chopper, knowing that they can't catch up to her. You're really leaving without saying goodbye, Robin? Robin turns around in shock to see Rose walking out of the alleyway she passed. Robin quickly regains her composure and glares at her. I take it you're going to try to convince me as well? Correct. Please don't do this to yourself, Robin. CP9 can't. Before Rose could finish, she was pinned to the wall with Robin's arms to the point where the only part of her body that's free was her head. I'm surprised you didn't try to pluck me with your wind again. It would have just resulted in this happening again, so there wouldn't be a point in trying. I just want to talk. Good, because I want to talk to you as well. I take it you're not gonna let me out of this hold for our conversation? Correct. Now, for my question. How much do you know about me? This is a gamble, but I'll try it. Sigh. I know about Ohara. Rose felt the arms tighten when she mentioned Robin's home island. I know the truth about why they destroyed the island. I know you're not a curse like everyone thinks you are. That's where you're wrong. Robin starts breaking her composure as she tightens her hold on Rose. Who are you really, Rose? Are you a part of the world government or the Revolutionary Army? I'm neither, Robin. I'm the Straw Hat Pirates astronomer, nothing more. The pain gets worse under Robin's hold. If you want to keep quiet about who you are, that's fine. I have time to force it out of you before leaving. If you're gonna kill me, fine, but at least let me say my last words, Rose says with a fierce look in her eye. Robin's eyes widen, but she nods and loosens the hold a little. You can't leave the crew without Luffy's permission. The others are going to know about your true intentions for leaving one way or another. And once they do, they're going to stop at nothing to bring you back with them. Please, keep your promise, Robin. You're no curse to the world. You're a Straw Hat Pirate. Rose finishes with a smile, but that smile was short-lived as the grip starts to crush her. She screams in pain while fighting back the tears. She uses her wind to slam Robin to a pillar, making her lose her grip on her, and drops to the ground as she releases her wind hold on Robin. Who's over there? One of the members of Galila yelled out in the distance. Both girls can hear them coming this way. Robin regains her composure and pins Rose to the wall again while she's recovering and forces her to face her. I'll leave you to the mob, Rose, but I have something to say as well. If you so much as harm one of the Straw Hats, I'll be sure to send CP9 to tear you limb from limb in sea stone cuffs. Rode on Rose to let her fall to the ground again while running away before the mob starts approaching. Rose tries to get up while catching her breath when some of the shipwrights approach her. It's the Wind Girl. The shipwrights try to grab her, but she pushes them away with a wind blast, then flies onto the roof and tries to roof jump with as little wind as possible in order to lose them. She lands in an alleyway while the shipwrights run in a different direction, thinking she went that way. Well, that could have gone better, Rose mutters as she slumps down from exhaustion. I can't believe she forced the air out of a person that's made of wind. I need to work on my logia abilities. The talk worked though. Rose remembers Robin's threat. If you harm one of the Straw Hats, I'll send CP9 after you. She's starting to show her true colors. I gotta get to the others. She staggers up, checks to see if the coast is clear, then flies up to the roof and lightly roof jumps in search of the others. The sun has begun to set on Water 7, with the Galila shipwrights continuing their chase for the Straw Hats. They're currently searching the rooftops and streets after they spotted Rose roof jumping to the plaza. Oi, Kaku, do you see the Wind Girl anywhere? One of the shipwrights on the streets yells up to him. No, she could be hiding on any one of these rooftops. Don't worry everyone, we'll find them. For now though, we should get going. We have to make sure Iceberg is safe from the pirates. Kaku jumps from the roof to join the mob, who nods in agreement and starts leaving the plaza. Up above the plaza in one of the clouds, Rose watches the mob leave while focusing on her abilities to keep herself hidden from the outside world. About time those guys left. How many times have they chased me already? Oh well, at least now I can find the others without worrying about them. If I recall right, they'll be waiting over at HQ for Robin to show up. I should start heading there too. She starts to cautiously travel through the air in her cloud to try to avoid the shipwrights and the storm clouds from Aqua Laguna. How did Rose find out about CP9? Did she really find out my reason for doing this? I can't let my efforts get lost. Robin. Robin snaps out of her thoughts and turns to the masked CP9 agent, who is holding a Den Den Mushi and waiting to start the assassination. I hope you're not getting second thoughts about the operation, Robin. Of course not, I'm ready when you are. The Den Den Mushi responds, good, then I'm going to start. Once you get the signal, proceed as planned. The Den Den Mushi hangs up and an explosion erupts at Galila, causing the shipwrights to start panicking. Let's go. The CP9 agent and Robin jump into the chaos to sneak into headquarters, while at the other side of the grounds a CP9 agent in a musketeer mask with a thorn whip starts running around. The shipwrights try to attack, but the agent was too fast for them. The agent used the whip to get on the roof where the shipwrights were ready for an ambush. Did you really think we wouldn't be waiting on the roof too? One of the shipwrights says as he and the others got their saws ready. The agent steps to them with the whip out. Give it up, you're no match for me. Like hell we'll give up. The shipwrights start to charge, but a gust of wind blows them off the roof and safely onto the ground before they got hurt. The surprised shipwrights look up to see Rose land on the roof with her staff ready in front of the agent. Man, I can't remember where the guys go to get in the building. If I go in now I might ruin Robin's chance to talk about her intentions. At least for now I can lower the damage that CP9 causes while pissing them off a bit. How about you pick on somebody your own size, CP9? The agent's eyes widen and got into a stance. You must be the logia user I heard about. I didn't think you would be stupid enough to face me head on, but as you wish. She jumps onto the air and tries to use the whip to attack her, but Rose uses her logia abilities to make it go through her. Rose charges in the air to attack, but the agent quickly jumped to the roof with her pursuing. Rose smirks and she flies full speed to slam her staff against the agent's head, but was blocked by the agent's tekai, and she used her logia abilities to make the incoming finger pistol go through her. She speaks softly so only the agent can hear. Not bad, Khalifa. Think you can beat me in a sky battle? Khalifa's eyes widened when she heard her name. I hope you're ready to die, logia user. Also, that's sexual harassment. Rose sweat drops at the statement. That's Khalifa alright. She snaps out of her thoughts when Khalifa air jumped away from her and went behind her to kick her. She ducks from the kick and uses her wind to slam her to a nearby building. As much as I enjoy the title, logia user, I do have a name. Katone Rose. Now then, why don't you let Robin go and we can forget about T? Rose gets cut off when Khalifa air jumps in front of her and tries to kick her in the head, but she maneuvers out of the way and summons a wind blade at her, but she blocks it and lands on the roof. I can't let that happen. But, I'll give you a counter-offer, we keep Robin and we'll take your head with us. Khalifa launches her thorn whip at her but dodges and continues to go toe-to-toe with Khalifa in the air. Lulu and the shipwrights were completely shocked as they watched the air battle above them. They can't hear any part of the conversation due to the wind but are able to see the fight from the ground. One of the shipwrights turns to Lulu in confusion. I don't get it, sir. Isn't the person with the thorn whip on the pirate's side? Why are they fighting? I don't know. It's probably some inner quarrel. Let's get them while they're distracted. The shipwrights yelled in agreement and got their cannons and nail guns ready to fire at Rose and Khalifa. Fire! The shots were fires, gaining the girls' attention away from their fight to dodge and block the shots. Khalifa lands on the roof, then turns to the shipwrights. How silly of me. I almost forgot my main objective. I'll be right back, Miss Katone Rose. She launches an attack with her thorn whip at the shipwrights, but Rose goes in between the shipwrights and the whip. Twister kick. Rose turned her right leg into a twister and kicked away the whip and extended the tornado far enough to hit Khalifa and slam her to the building. Don't ignore your opponent. Rose was about to attack again, but Lulu and the shipwrights kept shooting through Rose, causing her to get irritated. Will you guys go away? You're not helping Iceberg here, lol. Khalifa air jumps beside her and kicks her side, sending her flying through a window into an empty room in Galila headquarters. Rose slowly sat up, massaging her aching head, then wincing to the pain in her side. That jerk really packs a kick. At least the shipwrights didn't get hurt. The other agents could be confronting Iceberg by now. I should get going. Rose slowly forces herself up and opens the door to the hallway to reveal an army of blinks in surprise, then groans in frustration. Oh, for crying out, if I ask nicely, will you please leave me alone? Hell no. The shipwrights all charge at her. Crap, these guys won't quit. Looks like I have no choice. Rose forces as much wind as she could create to pin the shipwrights to the wall as she runs away while ignoring the pain from her injuries. Robin, if you want to leave the crew, then at least tell us why. Luffy yells as he, Zoro, Nami and Chopper confront Robin and CP9 while protecting Polly and Iceberg. She didn't tell them. Perfect. Robin gives a cold stare as she replies, I already told the chef and doctor goodbye. Isn't that enough? No, it's not. Robin, please tell us. Chopper yells while fighting back the tears. Fine, it's in order to achieve my goal. A goal that can't be achieved if I stay with you. I'm willing to sacrifice anything for it. And you think leaving with world government asshats can achieve your goal? Everyone turns to the doorway in shock to find Rose panting. CP9 can't grant your wish, Robin. Robin starts biting her lip. Crap, I can't let her ruin this. Just shut up, Rose. I won't hesitate to kill you if you interfere. Rose jumped once she saw Robin's arms about to pin her, only to be confronted by Lucci and kicked in the gut to send her flying. Before she hits the wall, Luffy stretches his arm to pull her to his side. Rose, are you okay? Where have you been? Rose stands herself up while brushing herself off. Why, yeah, I'm fine. I'll explain what happened later, but right now we can't let her leave. Lucci starts walking away from them. Sorry to cut the drama, but we need to be taking our leave. Khalifa, is it ready? Yes. It should be going off in 2 minutes. Good. Sorry to say, Straw Hats, but in 2 minutes the place will be in flames, so I recommend leaving. If you can. Kaku, Bluno, and Khalifa step in front of Robin and Lucci, ready to fight. Zoro starts to unsheath his sire, ready to fight. Luffy, are you okay with Robin leaving? Hell no. Robin turns to leave. I'm going to leave before I deal with this nonsense any further. Lucci nods in agreement. Robin, stop. Luffy runs to Robin, only to be blocked by Bluno. Sorry, but you're not to interfere. After using Tekai to block, Bluno air jumps out of the way for Kaku and Khalifa to use their Tempest kicks, but before they can hit him, Rose pushes him down with her wind to dodge. Everybody get down. Zoro yells when he sees the kick heading for them, causing everyone to duck. You guys alright? Nami says as everyone gets up and nods. Robin opens the window about to leave. Rose tries to pull Robin back with her wind, but Khalifa confronts her. How about we finish where we left off? She launches a finger pistol at Rose, only for it to go through her while slamming Khalifa to the wall. Rose tries to refocus her attention to Robin, but Khalifa immediately recovers and continues to attack her. Crap, I don't know how much longer I can keep this up. Rose slams Khalifa to the wall again and focuses her wind to keep her down. Robin, no matter what you say, we're not giving up. Stop making it hard on yourself. Robin turns to her and the others at the windowsill. You're not very bright, are you? No matter. This is the last we'll be seeing each other. Goodbye. Robin. Luffy yells as he runs to catch her, only to be caught by Lucci. Go now, Nico. Robin. Robin nods to Lucci's command and jumps out the window. Rose tries to focus on her wind to pull her back, but it was too late. You know it's not wise to turn your attention away from the enemy. You're a lot more dangerous than I thought, so it's best if you leave. Rose realizes she accidentally released her hold on Khalifa when she turned to her, only to be kicked in the stomach and sent flying through the window and out of headquarters. Before Rose crashed on one of the buildings in the far back streets of Water 7, she used her wind to cushion her fall and laid on the ground. Crap. She winces at the pain in her torso. Man, this sucks. Wait, oh shit. Luffy and Zoro. She gets up as quickly as she could and flies to one of the rooftops to find Luffy and Zoro flying in the air thanks to Lucci. Hang on, guys. She musters up as much wind as she could to catch Zoro and Luffy before they got stuck in buildings and dropped them in front of her before falling to her knees. Rose, are you okay? Luffy yells as he and Zoro approach her. Don't worry so much guys. I'm fine, Rose lies as she shifts her eyes everywhere. Zoro gets irritated at the obvious lie. Bullshit. You're in a worse condition than we are. What have you been doing? Rose looks down before speaking. Earlier today, I spoke to Robin. Both guys widen their eyes in shock. Luffy knelt down to her eye level and grabbed her shoulders. You did what? What happened? Did she do anything to you? Rose grits her teeth before looking Luffy in the eye. Robin's not a bad person. She turned herself in to keep us safe. Zoro was the first to speak from the shock. She did what? Those world government assholes threatened us with a buster call and Robin sacrificed herself to protect us. That outburst from earlier was so I wouldn't tell you guys. We gotta get her back. Luffy froze for a second while his eyes hid behind his hat. So that's how it is. He picks her up gently over his shoulder with her facing behind him, then stands up. Zoro, let's go get Nami and Chopper. We're gonna beat the crap out of those assassins. Zoro nods in agreement with a smirk on his face as he and Luffy make a run for it. A blush creeps on Rose's face when she realizes the position she's in and tries to get down, but Luffy keeps a hold on her. I can run too, Luffy, put me down. You can't run in your condition. We're getting you to Chopper while we're catching up to Robin. But Zoro steps into the argument. No point in arguing, Rose. You did enough, so let us take it from here. Or would you rather I carry you? Zoro chuckles a bit at her, quickly shaking her head before turning into an alleyway away from them. Rose watches what happened in shock. That's the wrong way, Zoro. Zoro stops himself and catches up with them. Luffy, please carry Zoro instead. No way. Besides, I like carrying you, so take it easy until we get to Chopper. Rose's blush doubles after hearing him say that. What the hell is with this guy? Why does he keep saying weird stuff like that? Rose stops her train of thought when she spots a giant wave from Aqua Laguna heading their way. Luffy, do you remember how to roof jump? Luffy nods. Good, I need you to catapult the three of us to the rooftops and quick. Both guys turn their heads to find out what she's talking about and quickly understand when Luffy wraps an arm around Zoro and sends all three of them in the air, barely escaping the wave and landing onto the rooftops. That was close, Luffy says as he readjusts his hat while the others nodded. Zoro turns to Rose. When you spoke to Robin, did she leave a clue to where she's going? She didn't tell me, but if my guess is correct, she should be getting on a sea train to Eni's lobby as we speak. What the hell should I do? I know I shouldn't mess with the storyline, but… Rose snapped out of her thoughts to hear Luffy shouting at her. Sorry Luffy, what did you say? I said, is that the sea train there? Luffy points to the sea train that has left the station. Crap, yay, that's it. Don't worry, I know of another way to go after them, but we need to find the others first. The guys nod in agreement when they heard a familiar voice shouting. Luffy, Zoro, Rose. The three of them look down to see Chopper and the other shipwrights searching for them. Rose yells down to him, Chopper, we're up here. Chopper and the others stop to see them, but before they can react, Luffy grabs Rose and Zoro and jumps off the roof, scaring the shipwrights half to death. Rose summoned some wind to cushion their fall while Chopper ran to them. Guys, Robin. Luffy places a hand up to stop him. Don't worry, Chopper. Rose told us everything about Robin, we just need to find Chopper. As if on cue, Nami showed up in a rush. Good, you found the others. Sanji snuck onto the train. We have to find a way to get to Eni's lobby. What was that way you were talking about, Rose? Zoro says as he and the others turn to her. Coker is able to get us there. Do any of you shipwrights know where to find her? Did someone say my name? Nagaga. Everyone turns in surprise to see Kokura, Chimney and Ganbei walking towards them. So, what did you need me for, Wind Pirate? There's another sea train that can get us to Eni's lobby, correct? If anyone knows of one existing, it's you. Kokura blinks in surprise, then starts laughing. Nagagaga. Very insightful of you, yay. I have a sea train, but I must ask you first. Are you all willing to wage war on the world government for one friend? Luffy stood up. Just hurry and take us. Our friends are waiting for us. The others nod in agreement. Kokura smiles. Reckless, are you? Well then follow me. I'll take you to the sea train. Ack. Rose winces as Chopper works on her wounds in the conductor's room of the sea train known as Rocket Man, while the others are outside of the train talking to the Frankie family. How much longer do you need to do this, Doc? As long as I need to. You're lucky you just got a few badly bruised ribs and scratches after what Khalifa did. Chopper places the last bandage on, then motions her to stand to test her movements. Once everything checked out, he sighed in relief. Good, that should hold you up, but you need to be careful during the battle. You can't be doing anything stupid like Luffy would, got it? Rose gave him a smile while nodding. I'll try to be careful, but with you as my doctor I'm not worried. Thanks for the treatment, doc. Chopper breaks into another happy dance. Shut up, idiot, trusting me like that won't make me happy, hee hee. Rose giggles at the reaction, then leaves Tob a bite of the food Nami brought. Alright, so far so good. What should I do when we get there though? I know Luffy goes off on his own before the others get there. If I go with him and sneak him to the courthouse, there would be too many Marines going after the others, but I can't let Luffy waste his energy against the Marines either. Kokura starts up the Den Den Mushi, snapping her out of her thoughts. All aboard, now leaving Water 7 and heading to Eni's lobby. The other Straw Hats climb onto the train and are ready to go. Luffy, however, took a seat on the front of the sea train. Let's go. The sea train goes full speed out of the canal and onto the ocean. Oh crap, that's right. Rose turns to the others. Guys, when Kokura gets onto the rails, the train's going to get even faster, so brace yourselves. I'm going to make sure we don't lose our captain to the storm. Rose leaves to climb out of the train while Zoro and Nami followed her instructions, then experienced the full force of the train's speed. When the train settled down, they also relaxed, with Nami huffing out in frustration, and sometimes she's even more of a mystery than Robin. Zoro nods in agreement. You noticed that too, huh? It's like 1 minute she's an innocent kid not knowing what she's doing, and the next she knows exactly what's coming and is prepared for it. Exactly, but to be honest, I'm not worried. She's doing what she can to help after all. I'm sure in time she'll tell us everything about what's going on with her. Zoro smiles and nods in agreement. Yay, there's no doubt that she fits in here. For now though, let's focus on getting Robin back. Nami nods in agreement, then both of them jolts when they hear crying at the back of the car. Zambai reveals himself while holding a tissue to wipe his comical tears, with Kiwi and Mozu crying in the background. Your trust in each other is so beautiful. You Straw Hats are almost as amazing as Big Bro. Polly came out of hiding and whacked him in the head. Will you shut up? You're screaming in my ear. Tilestone yells as well when he pops out of hiding. You're screaming in my ear too, Polly. You have no right to complain, Tilestone, Lulu says as he rearranges his hair again. Will you shut up? What the hell are you doing here anyway? Nami yells, causing all four of them to stop fighting while Rose and Luffy walk into the car. Since you're going to risk your lives, I decided to help you. Those assholes think they can get away with trying to kill Iceberg. This is personal, Polly says as he smokes his cigar. We're helping out too. Those assholes kidnapped our bro, we gotta help, Zambai says, with Kiwi and Mozu nodding in agreement. Luffy steps up to Zambai and Polly. It's fine with me. Even though we were enemies back in Water 7, our enemies are the same now. From now on we're allies. Zambai and Polly both nod in agreement for the alliance. Rose smiled in approval, then walked to the conductor's room. Maybe some sleep could give me an idea about what to do. Hello Kokura, is it alright if I rest in here for a little while? Kokura took a swig of her alcohol before nodding. Of course, the more the merrier, I say. Thank you very much. Rose gives her a polite bow before making herself comfortable and closing her eyes. Rose, what are you doing? Teresa opens the door of her study to an 8-year-old Rose who's been listening to her practice her lecture. Hi Mom. I just forgot my notebook in the room. Rose walked in and shifted her eyes while she was lying, causing her mother to huff in frustration. Oh really? And where is this notebook? Rose jolted when being challenged on her lie. I made a mistake, it's in the bathroom. Rose lied again, earning her a whack in the head from her mother. If you're gonna lie, at least be convincing. Now tell me what you're doing. Rose massages her aching head before letting out a sigh. Sorry, the truth is, I'm not sure about what to do with this decision, and listening to your lectures always helps me think. Teresa blinks in surprise when hearing that. What kind of problem is it? Rose looked at the ground in embarrassment. That's not important. Teresa got a fist ready to whack her, causing her to raise her arms defensively. Okay. I'm trying to decide what the best way to self-teach myself how to play the guitar would be. You want to learn how to use your dad's guitar? Yay, but I want to learn on my own, I see. Well, how you learn all depends on you. You can choose one route by learning all the chords, or listen and learn, or go for the sandwich route. Rose quirked an eyebrow at her mom. The sandwich route? Yay, the sandwich route is a route where you go in the middle and take parts of the two separate options to make one of your own. Oh, I get it. I think I should take the sandwich route. Hee hee, that's the route I took too. Rose and Teresa turned to find Joe at the doorway. If you want to learn on your own, I won't stop you, but if you need any help, don't hesitate to ask me, alright? He kneels down to Rose and ruffles her hair when she nods. Good girl, now give me a hug. Teresa opened their arms to welcome Rose, who ran into them, but when the arms wrapped around her, they start to shake her. Mom, what are you doing? Rose tried to get her to let go, but she wouldn't listen when she kept shaking her and yelled, Wake up, Rose. Rose woke up to Luffy holding her shoulders and shaking her to wake up, only for him to be pried off by an angry Sanji. If you're going to wake up a beautiful girl, do it with more care, stupid, Sanji yelled as he kicked him in the head and into the other room. Rose got up, rubbing her eyes, then checking her wounds to make sure they were okay. Hey Sanji, when did you get here? Sniper King and I came here about 5 minutes ago. We couldn't get Robin back though. Sanji looks down in guilt. Rose gives him a reassuring smile while ruffling his hair. It'll be alright, Sanji. Once we reach Eni's lobby, those assholes won't know what hit them. We'll get Robin back no matter what. He looks at her in surprise before hearts form in his eyes. Rose-chan, you're so sweet. Rose lightly giggled before smiling. His flirting is always funny. Thanks, Sanji. Let's go see the others. He nods while they head into the next room, only to be greeted by Usopp in a weird mask. Hello there, miss. I'm your friendly Sniper King. I'm here to help. Rose blinked for a moment before smiling. Haha, I'm so glad I get to see this. Pleasure to meet you, Sniper King. My name's Rose. She shakes his hand before he tells her, Luffy and Chopper, some of his stories about Sniper Island. When they start getting closer to Eni's lobby, everyone started to gather around to start creating the strategy. Thanks to that dream I got an idea about what I can do now. But I'm going to get a real scolding for it later. For these guys it's worth it. Rose snuck out of the huddle and grabbed a few supplies and placed them in a bag before sneaking into the conductor's room. My, what can I do for you, whined Pirate? Kokura says as she takes another swig from her liquor. I'm sorry to bother you about this, Kokura, but when the others ask about where I am, would you please give this to them for me? Rose politely bowed before handing her a note. I see. You're going off alone, are you? Don't worry, I'll give it to them. But I have a condition. If you see a guy named Spandam, give him hell for me, would y'all? I'm sure you know who he is. Rose gave her a nod with a smirk on her face. Oh, I know exactly who you're talking about, and it would be my pleasure to kick him into next week. Rose jumped out of the window and into the rain just before Nami walked into the room searching for her. Hello, Granny Kokura. Have you seen Rose anywhere? Nagaga. Sorry to say, but your friend just left and told me to give you this. She handed her the note. Once she opened it, a vein popped on her forehead while reading the content. Hey guys, sorry for leaving like this. In order to make it easier on you, add and raise some hell on the island to distract them. Good luck on your end. Rose. Once Nami finished reading the note, she crumpled the paper in rage. RRRROOSSC. Rose did what? Everyone on the sea train screamed in shock when they heard from Nami about Rose's stunt. I told her not to do anything crazy. Not only has she not fully recovered, but she doesn't have full control of her abilities yet. Chopper scrambles around the train with worry. That girl, of all the stunts she's pulled, this has got to be the most insane one yet, Nami says as she seethes in rage. It's fine, Luffy says, causing the others to look at him confused. Sanji starts getting worked up at Luffy's attitude. How is this fine, Luffy? Rose-chan could be getting attacked by Marines out there. So help me if one of them lays a finger on her or Robin all. Shut up, Love Cook. I agree with Luffy on this one. Even with her injuries, she's not weak. She can take care of them until we get there. Zoro says as he relaxes in his seat. Sniper King nods in agreement. Though I just met her, Usopp told me a few stories about Rose's strength. From what I heard about her, I'm sure she has a plan on how to take care of them. Polly steps into the conversation. Have any of her plans worked before? The crew stares at him blankly for a moment before running to the window. Come back, Rose. At the front gate of Eni's lobby, the Marines and world government agents start to relax after seeing CP9 and the prisoners pass their gate. So that's what CP9 is like. They're as scary as the rumors say. One of the Marines says to his comrades as he stands guard while the others nod. I agree. I'm glad they're on our side. Yay, I'd hate to be the pirates that meet them. They'd probably wet their pants at first glance. Ha 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 ha. The others start joining their friend in laughing. Excuse me. All the Marines stop laughing to search for the voice to find Rose sitting on the sea train. The puffing Tom. Can any of you guys point me to the Justice Building? I need to pick up my friends. The Marines stare at her in confusion and start talking among themselves. Did any of the officials mention a girl picking them up? No one reported anything. Let's ask her. The Marines turn to her in confusion. Who are you picking up, miss? You guys should know them. They go by the names of Frankie and Nico Robin. All the Marines widen their eyes at the realization that she's a pirate and aim their guns at her. Surrender now or die, pirate. Rose stands up while giving off a smirk and starts to be dramatic. Oh my, what to do? It looks like I'm surrounded, sorry, but I'm not surrendering. I'll give you an offer though. Open the gates to let me pass and I won't hurt you. They stare at her blankly before laughing. Wahahaha. Her not hurt us? A little girl like her making such a threat? That's hilarious. Alright men, enough with the laughs, let's aim for her limbs to show her we mean business, then we'll bring her to impel down. The men nod in agreement and took aim. Don't say we didn't warn you, brat. They fired at her arms and legs, but once they went through her they started to sweat drop and pale. Rose shook her head showing disappointment, then starts putting her hair up. And to think I would have even gone easy on you if you resisted. But because of the laughing looks like I'll have to be serious from the start. Rose flew up and turned her leg into a twister. Twister kick. She fired her kick at them and sent all the Marines in the twister's path flying while an official hides and uses a den mushi to call headquarters. This is the main gate reporting. An intruder has started attacking at the main gate, characteristics are female and. On the other end of the line Spandam cuts him off with confusion. Only one intruder? And on top of that she's a girl? Why haven't you killed her? Sir, this is no ordinary girl, she's a minus, twister push. Rose completely stunned the Marines when she turned both of her arms into a large tornado and blew the doors of the main gate right off the hinges. She lifted herself up a few inches off the ground and flew through the gateway and waved at them. Catch me if you can, soldier boys. Spandam got irritated at the lack of response. She's a what? What is she? The official snaps out of it and frantically answers the den mushi. Everyone be careful of her, she's a logia devil fruit user. The element seems to be air and she just blew the doors off the main gate and is heading for the front gate. Spandam spat out his coffee after hearing that. She did what? Capture her immediately. Yes sir. He kept his connection with Spandam as he and most of the other Marines went after her. Rose flew with a large grin on her face while making sure the Marines kept up the chase. Ha 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 ha. So far the plan's working great. It's been a while since I was chased like Sakamoto in Peacemaker for the fun of it. I gotta keep it up. The next gate's approaching. Rose flew to the next gate only to be approached by Marines charging at her with swords. She brings out her staff and unsheathes the twin blades to collide with the oncoming blades of the Marines. Wind blade storm. Rose unleashed a flurry of mini wind blades against the officers and injured their sides and legs. She summons a whirlwind to send the surrounding Marines flying, then slams them to the ground. Wind blade cross. She slashed the twin blades in the air to form two wind blades in the shape of an X, flying straight at the doors of the gates and broke the gate. Then she blasted wind at the broken gate and sent the pieces flying. Thanks for the sparring match. See ya. Rose slammed the Marines in her way to the wall and knocked them out while flying through the gates. Guards keep moving. We have to catch her. The Marines continue to run all around the island after Rose, with more and more Marines being defeated. She landed at one of the streets to find herself surrounded by hundreds of Marines. You're one stupid kid. Even if you can fly, do you really think you can deal with 10,000 Marines alone? Like, I need an army to handle you guys. Silly me though, I forgot to introduce myself. My name's Katone Rose and I'm a proud member of the Straw Hat Pirates. Now then, please move before I make you. Hell no. The Marines all charge her at once, but before they struck she flew up in the air, causing them to collide with each other. She sheathed her twin blades back to a staff and used it to create a whirlwind to slam them to the ground before landing and running away. She flies onto the roof of one of the tall buildings to catch her breath while the Marines search for her. Damn, these guys are endless and these injuries aren't helping. I gotta find a way to beat them all at once without overdoing it. Maybe I can try to focus my wind to do that move Kagura did in Inuyasha. What was it called again? She strokes her chin in thought until she snapped her fingers in realization. That's right. Dragon Dance. Wait, don't I need a fan for duh? Wah! Rose snapped out of her thoughts when she looked to see a giant tornado formed and sent a large amount of Marines flying and screaming. Her mouth practically dropped to her feet in shock. Holy crap. Did I do that? How the hell did I? She looked down at the fingers that she snapped. It couldn't have been that easy, could it? She snaps her fingers again and a small tornado formed from them. It started moving away from her and grew larger until it reached the size of the first tornado and moved to a different direction from the first one, attacking everything in sight. She looks to the tornado, then her hands with excitement. Whoa! I'm like a wind version of Roy Mustang. Wait. Crap, that one's heading to the road the others are gonna take. Rose quickly flew to the tornado and used her staff to form a wind blade to slash the tornado and stop it. The victims of the tornado quickly fell to the ground and lost consciousness. Alright, that takes care of that. What about the other? Whoa! Rose looked at the other tornado in shock to see Luffy clutching to a building, trying not to let it take him. Luffy! Rose quickly flew over to the tornado before it could drag Luffy through it with another wind blade. She flew over to Luffy's side while he dusts himself off on the roof. Are you alright, Luffy? I'm so sorry, I didn't know I could make a. Awesome. You can make tornadoes too? You're so cool. He looks at her with stars in his eyes, causing her to sweat drop. Did he forget my tornado almost swallowed him? Hee, at least the plan worked. He looks good, I mean he seems ready to go. She hides her blush by turning to the courthouse. Thanks. I'm glad you're okay. We better get moving, Robin's waiting for us. Luffy nods, but before they leave, more Marines surround the building and start shooting at them. Rose sighs in frustration. Man, these guys won't quit. Luffy, when I jump down I want you to roof jump to that large building over there. I'll follow you after I take care of them. She points to the courthouse, causing him to nod. She blasts wind out of her hands to hold down the Marines, then jumps down to the street to fight them off while Luffy makes a break for the courthouse. Spandam has sent away Robin and Frankie along with the members of CP9 and handed them their devil fruits. He realized he left the Den Den Mushi off the hook and called to get a report. Have you captured the girl yet? Sorry sir, we spotted Straw Hat Luffy, but when we tried to go after him the girl attacked us. What? You mean to tell me you not only couldn't stop Straw Hat Luffy but even a single girl? What's the new damage report from the girl? I would say by now about 800 from physical fighting, but with the tornadoes there's no way that can be right. I heard it was 5. You're saying one girl has defeated 800 of our men? Sorry sir, but it's the truth. This girl is truly a monster. Wah? Rose's wind sent him flying and caught the Den Den Mushi. She snaps her fingers for a tornado to go after the men that was pursuing her, and Luffy then flies to a rooftop to talk to Spandam. I take it I'm speaking to Spandam? Who who the hell are you? The Straw Hat's astronomer. Katone Rose. Are you alone? The Den Den Mushi nods, causing Rose to continue. Good, I'm gonna make this brief. Harm one more hair on Robin or Frankie and I'll make you regret it. Bawahahaha. Do you know who you're talking to, girl? I'm Spandam, the leader of CP9 and former leader of CP5. You not only harmed innocent people in Water 7 with Frankie's stolen ships but also framed Tom for being the culprit and sent him to his death. Spandam stared at the snail in shock. How did you know that? The same way I know that you manipulated the Gorosei to allow you to retrieve Pluton and plan to use it to overthrow the world government. Who the hell told you that? This is absurd. Who is this girl? Not telling. So what if you know what I'm planning? It's not like anyone would believe a pirate anyway. It's better I revive it and become ruler than let Nico Robin do whatever she wants with it. Watch your mouth. Robin has no intention of reviving any weapon. Her research is as harmless as my research on the Timor Comet. Spandam's face on the snail shows complete shock, causing her to be confused. Why, you're researching Hell's Comet? Hell's Comet? Got a problem with that? That comet is almost as big of a taboo as the Po Negli PHS. I get it now. You're trying to spirit me away with the power of the comet. Well, I won't let you. Be prepared, Katone Rose, for I'll be sure to send you to the deepest hells of Impel Down. Spandam hangs up the Den Den Mushi. Rose chuckles as she hangs up her side of the Den Den Mushi and turns off the tone dial she used to record the conversation. Hee hee, this should take care of him. Glad I brought this with me. So, the world government is scared of the comet, huh? Figures. They wouldn't want their citizens escaping to other worlds. I better get moving. The others should be there soon. Rose started to fly over to the courthouse but stopped at the sound of Nami's screaming and realized where her tornado went. Shit. Where did that tornado come from? Chopper yells as he sees Rose's tornado going after him. Nami, Sanji, Zoro and the Frankie family who are riding on a giant Yagara right before they reach the courthouse. I don't know, but this has Rose written all over it. Zoro says as he was got his swords out and ready to attack. Windblade. Before Zoro could attack it, Rose slashed through the tornado and landed on the Yagara while giving them a nervous smile. Hey guys, glad to see you made. Nami went to whack her but her fists kept going through her. Your crazy tornado almost killed us, what were you thinking? I'm sorry Nami, I didn't know it was heading here. That's not what you should be apologizing for, Chopper says as he checks her injuries. You haven't fully healed yet. I thought I told you not to do anything Luffy would do. I'm sorry, if it makes you guys feel better I ran into Luffy. He should be at the roof of the courthouse right now. The group arrives at the courthouse and got off the Yagara with no marines in sight. Sanji puffs out a smoke before turning to Rose. They're probably waiting for us inside. Rose, can you bring us to the roof? It's possible, but it's not a good idea. Nami looks to her in surprise. What are you talking about? You experienced it yourself back when you, Luffy and I faced Galila. When I tried flying with you too, once Lucci hit me all of us fell. If something happens to me or if I lose my focus while we're flying we'd all fall. Also, with more people it takes more focus and maneuvering to avoid the bullets aiming at us. Basically we'd all be moving targets for them. I think the best way to reach Luffy would be to get to the roof from the inside. I'm going to make a twister out here to stall the incoming marines, so everyone get inside. After hearing her explanation the others nod in agreement and barge into the courthouse while Rose goes in front of Yokozuna and the giant Yagara. Gamora. You and Sodom did a great job getting them here Gamora, thank you for the help. Yokozuna. You did a great job protecting the others as well, thank you. I'll be sure to give Spandam a good beating for you. Both of you don't worry, Sodom's gonna be alright, we're all gonna make it back to Water 7, so don't give up. She gives them a thumbs up and a large smile before turning around and creates a tornado for the incoming marines. Yokozuna and Gamora look at her in shock then smile while she flies up in the air to make sure the root of the tornado doesn't attack any of her friends outside. Afterwards she flies into the courthouse where the Straw Hats and the Frankie family are fighting the Marines and Baskerville. We're gonna lower the drawbridge. You guys get to the roof. Zambai yells as he and the Frankie family fight off the Marines in their way. Rose-chan, Nami Swan. Follow me, I'll lead the way. Sanji yells as he, Nami and Chopper run up the stairs while Zoro goes in a completely different direction until Rose sent him flying to their direction. Put me down Rose. Zoro yells as she catches up to them and sets him down with the group. I swear Zoro, someday I'm gonna have to keep a windhold on you to make sure you don't get lost. I'd like to see you try. We'll focus on Zoro's lack of direction later. Let's get going. Nami says, causing them to nod while making their way through the building. Just leave already Luffy. I never asked to be saved. I just want to die. Robin yelled from the Justice Building to Luffy who's on the roof of the courthouse. Wahaha. All of that for nothing. CP9 don't do anything right now. I want to watch him suffer some more. Spandam says as he and CP9 watch the scene, but when they look at Luffy they were shocked to find him casually picking his nose. Robin. We're not leaving without you. You can decide what you want to do after we get you out of here. Luffy says when Zoro used his swords to cut a hole in the roof and accidentally sent Rose, Nami and Chopper flying into the air. Rose used her wind to gently land them on the ground. From Nami, I thought I told you to be careful with your wind Rose. This time Zoro's the one you should be scolding. He's the one that did it this time. Rose pointed to the hole revealing Zoro climbing out. Spandam looks to Rose in fear while the rest of the Straw Hats arrive. That's her? That's the one studying Hell's Comet? I need to make her and the others know their place? He goes to the rails of the building and yells out to the crew. You dirty pirates. Do you have any idea where you are? You're at the heart of the world government and are faced with not only the power of CP9 but also the power of. Before he could finish, Rose used her wind to slam him to the building. That's enough out of you, Spandam. She turns to the crew. Sorry guys. I can't stand that loudmouth. Don't worry about it, Rose, we would have done the same, Nami says as Spandam quickly recovers. Before Spandam could say anything, Robin cuts in. Don't you guys get it? The more I want to be with you, the more my darkness bears its fangs at you. I've already got you involved not only with Aokiji but this time as well. I don't want to burden you with my enemy because the world is my enemy. While the crew looks at her with concern, Spandam laughs and gloats. Ha ha ha. You see, no matter what you people know or what any of you do, you can't defeat the entire world. Look up and see the flag on top of building. That's the symbol of the entire world. Do you honestly think you can protect her from that? Luffy looks up at the flag and knows what needs to be done. Sniper King, I want you to shoot that flag. Sniper King nods in agreement and takes aim. Roger. Fire Bird Star. He fires straight at the flag, causing it to go up in flames. The stunt shocks CP9, Spandam and Robin while the crew's faces show satisfaction. Wouldn't expect anything less from you, Captain. Rose smirks as she watches Spandam recover from the shock. Are you insane? Don't even hope that you can make it with the world as your enemy? I can live with that. Luffy yells, causing Robin to freeze with tears running down her face. Robin, I want you to tell me something. Tell me you want to live. Tears continue to fall on Robin's face when she looks at the crew, showing no regret in Luffy's decision. I want to live, take me with you, I want to go out to sea with you. Frankie cries with joy while the crew smiles with pride, then looks down to see the drawbridge starting to lower. The crew starts to get excited that they get to go over there. Sorry Robin and Frankie. If I fly you guys over to us now, I don't know what CP9 would pull. Just hold on a little longer, we'll get you guys back. Rose gets her staff out and ready when she watches Frankie use his fire breath to destroy the blueprints to Pluton and be pushed off the building by Spandam. Crap, hold on Frankie. Before Rose can catch him, Luffy suddenly wraps his arms around her and the others and jumps off the building with them. Before they land, Kokura catches them with Rocketman and brings them into the Justice Building where the real battle begins. To be continued. The sea train crashed into the Justice Building and the crew heard from Fukuro about the keys that they need to retrieve for Robin's sea stone cuffs. They decided to split up in order to find the CP9 agents while Luffy goes after Robin. Rose is currently running through the Justice Building with Sanji until they stop at a door. Before he walks in, Rose puts a hand on the door. Sanji, I'll take this one. You should go further. As much as I respect Sanji's no-hit women rule, he needs to focus on the mission. Sanji quirks an eyebrow at her. Do you know who's behind this door, Rose-chan? It's just easier if we split up. Please hurry, if you don't keep going Robin won't be saved by her prince. Hold on Robin, CHWAAN. He runs further into the Justice Building while Rose turns to the door. I'm glad that worked. Time for a rematch. Rose walks into the room to find Khalifa waiting for her. Well, we just keep meeting Ms. Katone, Rose. Khalifa says as she shuts the door behind her. Hee, it's like fate's giving me a second chance to come at you. I'm surprised you're even willing to come at all. I don't know what you said to Spandam and frankly I don't care, but you spooked him enough to give us a specific order along with cutting down your crew. Rose raised an eyebrow at this. Oh really, and what would that be? If we had the chance to find you we were ordered to. Khalifa air jumped and appeared right behind her and whispered in her ear. Make you wish you were dead, then bring you to impel down. Before Rose can react, Khalifa touched her right arm and used her devil fruit to make it into an odd bubbly shape before Rose flew away from her and sent a twister kick her way. Crap, I forgot about her devil fruit. I gotta get my arm in some water. She blasted wind at Khalifa to slam her to the wall and held her there while using a twister kick to break the faucet of the bathtub, causing the water to erupt, and placed her arm in the geyser. Khalifa sent a tempest kick her way, causing her to release the hold as she dodged. Not bad Khalifa. I'm surprised you can control the bubble fruit so well after just eating it. Khalifa freezes in shock. Jay, just because you know my devil fruit doesn't mean you can win. We'll see about that. Rose turned her arm into a twister punch. She aimed it at Khalifa, but she air jumped to dodge and aimed a bubble tied at her but cut through it with a wind blade. Rose slammed Khalifa to the wall again, but she protected herself with a soap shield. Khalifa sent bubbles to sap her strength, but she used a wind barrier to protect herself. She unsheathed her twin blades and aimed a wind blade storm at Khalifa, but she used Tekai to block it but felt it. Both of them are panting while Rose sheathes the blades. This is getting the both of us nowhere. I got an idea. Rose snapped her fingers to form 3 mini tornadoes going towards Khalifa. Khalifa laughs at the attempt. I get it now. You're a new devil fruit user as well. How sad that I'm more beautiful and more capable of using my powers than you. Rose's eye twitched, then she smirked. It's true, I'm still new to my abilities. But, learning about what I can do every day makes beating bimbos like you more enjoyable. The 3 tornadoes grew and cornered Khalifa, but before she can air jump out of the way, Rose flew up above her with both of her arms turned into tornadoes. Twister barrage. All the tornadoes morphed into one huge twister and attacked Khalifa with it and trapped her there as long as she could keep the twister under control. When Rose called off the attack, she landed on her knees panting. Keeping those tornadoes under control takes a lot more out of me than I thought. I guess I found my trump card, Khalifa. She got up in a stance to face Khalifa only to find her unconscious on the ground. I did it, oh right. The key. Rose went over to her and cautiously grabbed the key from her. I can't believe I won. I think I'm getting the hang of this. Rose turns to the doorway to see Nami shocked. Nami, I'm glad you're here. Here's one of the keys to the sea stone cuffs. She tosses the key to Nami and looks at it with excitement. Great job, Rose. That's just what we need, thanks. Rose smiles in satisfaction, then looks at her in confusion. Wait, where's Chopper? Kumadori caught up with us and he's facing him right now. Shit. This is no time to be celebrating. What's wrong with me? Nami, you go to the guys and give them that key? I gotta go help Chopper. Rose quickly runs out of the room, leaving a confused Nami with the key. I did it. I locked him up. Chopper cheers of his accomplishment of locking Kumadori in the fridge. Hold it, gorilla. I need that fridge, Frankie yells as he fights off Fukuro. The CP9 agent and the punk, and WHO, are you calling a gorilla? Damn, you're slow. Look, I'm on your side here. In order to save Robin, I need you get me 3 bottles of cola from the fridge. What kind of idiot runs on cola? Don't underestimate the power of cola, Chopper. All of them look to the doorway to find Rose running into the kitchen. Good, I'm not too late. Frankie gives her a thumb up. I'm glad you see it my way, Freckles. How much longer will you keep ignoring me? Chapapa, it's rude to have a conversation during a battle. Fukuro aims his attack at Frankie, but Rose uses a wind blast to slam him to the wall. Why not give me a fight instead, Fukuro? Chopper, please hurry. Fukuro immediately gets up and goes at it with Rose while Chopper quickly snatches 3 bottles of tomato juice and gives it to him. Fresh. Both Rose and Fukuro stop in shock to see Frankie's hair change into the shape of a tomato. Freshness is the best. Vegetable punch. He aims a weak punch at Fukuro, earning him a punch that sends him flying. WHO the hell says, fresh is the best. He throws the bottles at the fridge, then quickly receives 3 bottles of tea from Chopper, and his hair and personality changed again. This time his hair turned into 3 wavy strands and he sat down while wiping sweat off of his head. Now I'm feeling good, man. We shouldn't be fighting. We should all settle down and have some tea. He quickly takes out the tea bottles and throws them at the fridge. That's not it either. He's so funny. Both Rose and Chopper look at Frankie with excitement. Frankie looks at them in irritation. Hey you brats. What's up with the what will happen if you give me different drinks faces? Give me cola. Chopper quickly gives him the 3 bottles of cola and he gets back into action by sending a punch to Fukuro. Both Rose and Chopper stand back while Frankie fights Fukuro. Chopper realizes he forgot something. Oh right, Rose, we need to find key number 2. Don't worry, Chopper. I took the number 2 key from Khalifa and Nami's got it now. Chopper stares at her with stars in his eyes. Are really? You're so cool, Rose. She gives him a sheepish grin and rubs the back of her neck. Oh come on now, I'm not. Yo-yo-y. Did I hear correctly? You're a ruse? Both of them turned around to find a fat Kumadori behind them. Chopper looks at him in shock, then goes into heavy point. Wah, he's out of the fridge, and he's fat? Did he eat the entire fridge? Yup. I'm Rose. You're ready to fight me too? She unsheathes her blades and gets into a stance. Chopper tilts his head in confusion. Why is he asking for you, Rose? I kind of scared their boss, so now they want me said to impel down. What? Yo-yo-e. Don't ignoorreemee. It's rude. Both of them turned to an angry skinny Kumadori. Chopper's eye widened in shock. How did you lose the weight? Like this, Same Kikon. Kumadori suddenly gained the weight back, then turned back to his normal physique. I trained myself to control my entire body all the way to the tip of my hair. Impressive. Chopper says with excitement. Why thank you. Now then, prepare to lose. Kumadori aims his hair at them, causing Rose and Chopper to dodge. Wind blade storm. Rose sent the wind blades at Kumadori, cutting some of the end. Hope you're ready to pay for ruining my manly mane with your life. Kumadori was furious as he uses his staff and aim it at her, but it goes through her. Then Chopper got into heavy point to punch him, but it didn't work. Both of them are dodging his attacks when he started hiding from them. Rose turns to Chopper. Chopper, you gotta get out of here. No way. I can't leave you alone knowing they're after you. I just need to get into arm point. Forget it. You already ate a rumble ball, right? It's too dangerous for you to eat one egg. Ah. Kumadori came out of hiding and slammed her to the wall with his staff, then wrapped her limbs with his hair. Ack! Rose sent Kumadori flying and slammed his head to the ceiling, causing him to let go of her. Then Chopper charges at Kumadori to try to use arm point, but used guard point by mistake, then gets whacked by his staff. Crap! He ate the rumble ball. Rose goes in between Chopper and Kumadori. Twister kick. Rose's attack hits him and slams him to the wall, but he immediately goes back up and turns his hair into finger pistols and attacks her, but they go through her. Wind blade cross. Rose's wind blade cross hits Kumadori, but he gets right back up with the wound. Rose is in a stance ready for the attack. I can't let up now. I gotta keep going. Kumadori goes to attack her, but Chopper finally goes to arm point and attacks him. Roseo metal. His attack hits Kumadori and causes him to pant in exhaustion. Yo-yo-e, so strong, yet I can no longer hold back. Kumadori goes to attack Chopper and Rose at full force. Wind barrier. The barrier holds him back, but it's not strong enough to hold his hair back as he hits both Rose and Chopper. Damn it. My logia abilities are acting up again. Chopper run. Rose sheathed the blades and attacked him with a wind blade, but he keeps going and countered by a whack to her side with his staff, then goes to attack Chopper, who's still trying to get up. Before he could hit him, Rose sent him flying to slam him to the ceiling, then flew quickly at him while he's falling to slam the staff at Kumadori's face and slammed him to the ground. Leave him alone, Kumadori. Chopper, please get out of here. Yo-yo-e. I almost forgot about you. Kumadori got up and pinned her to the ground with his staff, then wrapped her limbs with his hair while she tries to fight back. You were lucky to have been ordered alive. Let's go. Chopper manages to sit up and watches Kumadori about to leave with Rose. Hold on, Rose. I'm sorry for not listening. When I transform, please run away. Chopper grabs his last rumble ball, shocking Rose. Chopper, don't do it. But it was too late as he bit down on the drug and transformed to his monster point. Rose took Kumadori's shock to her advantage and forced her wind to slam him to the wall and release her from his hold as she runs away from Chopper's attack on Kumadori that knocks him out and sends him flying to Eni's lobby. What the hell happened? Is that the deer gorilla? Rose turned to see Frankie after he defeated Fukuro. This isn't good. Yay, it's Chopper. He ate too many rumble balls and now he's out of control. I'm gonna try to talk some sense into him. Rose flew up to his face. Doc, calm down. You gotta get a hold of yourself. You won the fight, so please stop. Don't you recognize me? It's me, Rose. He ignored her and tried to attack her, but she dodged and got Frankie out of the way of his attack before climbing the building. Frankie lifts his sunglasses to look at him. Looks like there's no getting to him. Did this happen before? She shook her head. No, this is the first time. I'm sorry, Chopper. In that case, we have to say that we have to kill him and I'll dismantle you. She gives him a death glare, causing him to sweat drop. Yes, ma'am. Where's he going anyway? I think I know where he's heading. Come on. Rose ran with Frankie to where Chopper is going. What the hell? Sanji yells as his fight with Jabra got interrupted by Chopper attacking the room. Nami just got the cuffs off of Zoro and Sniper King and are running away from Chopper. Wait, isn't that Chopper? Sniper King says as he points to Chopper's hat and the others realize that it's him. Doesn't he recognize us? Nami yells as she avoids his giant hand. Guys, are you okay? Rose yells as she and Frankie run into the room. Do we look alright? What the hell happened to Chopper? Zoro yells as he stops Kaku from attacking Chopper. He ate too many rumble balls, but we got an idea, Frankie. Sup peep here. Time for a coup d'event. Frankie shoots his attack at Chopper and sent him towards the ocean. Rose flew outside and pushed Frankie into the ocean with her wind so he could get Chopper faster. Before Rose joined him, she was stopped by Nami. Take these keys and this baby Den Mushi with you and go get Robin with Frankie. We'll catch up with you after we get the other keys. Nami tosses the keys to her as she nods. No problem. When Zoro and Sanji get the keys, shoot them over to the gate. Rose lands where Frankie is while Nami nods in understanding, then grabs Sniper King's arm and drags him out of the room. Sniper King, come with me. Sniper King looks at her in shock. What? Why? I'm gonna prove to you that you're not useless. Sniper King keeps looking at her in shock as he's being dragged by her. Rose and Frankie followed Chimney and Kokura to the tunnel leading to the gates of justice. Thanks for the help, Chimney and Kokura. Please take care of Chopper, Rose says as she and Frankie go off to the tunnel. Good luck, Wind Pirate, Chimney says as she waves them off. Nagaga. Don't worry, we'll take care of your reindeer friend. Kokura takes a swig as she sees Rose and Frankie run into the tunnel. Oh, before I forget again here, Rose tossed Frankie 3 bottles of cola while running. Super, thanks Free, you had these the whole time and you didn't tell me? I'm sorry, I forgot. I was so distracted by his funny personalities that I completely forgot I grabbed some from the sea train. He places the bottles in his stomach fridge then sighs. Whatever, let's get going. Those two ran through the tunnel until they reached the room to where Luffy was facing Lucci. Rose, you made it. Hey punk. What are you doing here? Luffy gives a hard glare to Frankie. Frankie glares back. I keep telling you people I'm on your side. He's right, Luffy. Where's... Rose cuts herself off when she sees Lucci blocking the doorway. Lucci gives off a devilish grin at them while waiting for them. Rose, I need you to take Frankie to Robin while I keep him busy. Luffy runs to Lucci while Rose flies with Frankie to the door. Lucci immediately slams Luffy to the crates then blocks Rose and Frankie. Leaving so soon? Strong right. Frankie launches his fist at Lucci but it didn't do any good, causing him to be shocked. I'm impressed you managed to defeat Fukuro, but that move won't work on me. Lucci launches a fist at Frankie but Rosh pushed him out of the way and made the punch go through her. Lucci's eyes widened at Rose's glare then gave her a devilish smirk. Fufu, so you're the one studying Hell's Comet. I wonder what you want to know from it. How to leave this world or how people are brought here. Lucci added venom in the last word, causing Rose's eyes to widen. Could it be he? Gum jet pistol? Luffy launched a fast punch in second gear at Lucci to send him flying and causing Frankie and Rose to be shocked. I can't worry about that now. We have to go, Luffy, we'll leave him to you. Good luck. Rose quickly flew along with Frankie out of the room while Luffy and Lucci face off. What was up with Straw Hat? He was steaming, Frankie asks as they flew up the stairs. That was second gear. He powers his moves up by pumping up his blood but only for a few minutes. Whoa, hey, what did Lucci mean by Hell's Comet? I'll be more than happy to answer any questions you may have after we get out of here. Don't avoid questions after you just answered one, damn it. Rose continued to avoid the topic as tunnel. I have to keep fighting, the others are coming for me. I don't want to die. Robin continues to struggle as hard as she can to not go through the gates while Spandam is trying to forcefully drag her through them. Will you give up already? Even if they did manage to pass Lucci, there's no way they'll make it here. I set up bombs along the walls of the entrance that are so sensitive that even if the Wind Girl flew past the doorway she will be blown to bits. What? No, I won't give up, they're coming to save me. No one is coming, idiot. I'm finishing the hunt of Ohara my father started no matter what. Ohara is alive as long as I'm here, and how long will that be? They both stopped when they heard an explosion and saw Rose and Frankie sent flying into the ocean. Robin watched the scene in tears. "No, I told those idiots I wanted the Wind Girl alive. Oh well, one less menace for the world to deal with. Let's hurry." Spandam dragged Robin across the bridge while her tears continued to flow. "Take a good look, gentlemen, because this one step through the gate will carve my name in history." Before Spandam can make that step, he was shot in the back by an exploding star and was knocked down the stairs, causing him to let go of Robin. Robin and the others looked at the roof of the Justice Building in shock to find Sniper King shooting at the Marines around her. "Way to go, Sniper King," Nami says as she pats him on the back while watching with her binoculars. All in a day's work for Sniper King. He strikes his pose while singing his theme song. Robin gives a smile while tears continue to stream down her face. "Long nose." "Thank you." Robin gets up to run with the Marines about to shoot her. "Make sure you aim for her legs. We want her alive," Spandam orders as the men take aim and fire, only for their shots to be blocked by Frankie. Frankie gives the Marines a smirk. "Hee hee, shots like that won't work on a guy made of steel, right, Spanda? I'm impressed you were able to think of sensitivity bombs for my wind, Spandam. Too bad they can only get you so far." Spandam looks up in horror to find Rose above him, cracking her knuckles. "Frankie, I trust you to protect Robin. I gotta keep my promise to Kokura to beat Spandam into next week. Here are the keys and the baby Den Den Mushi Nami gave me." Rose tossed the keys and baby Den Den Mushi to Frankie while smirking. Sniper King should be shooting over the other keys right about now. On cue, the keys landed next to Frankie as he nods. "Got it. Don't go too hard on him though, I want to take a crack at him." "Why, you got all the keys?" Spandam watches in shock, but Rose doesn't give him time to calm down as she lands a flying kick right on his nose and continually attacks him while focusing on a wind barrier so the Marines couldn't interfere. As Rose beats on Spandam, he notices her crystal necklace. "It couldn't be. That's the only way she could have known those things about me. I just figured you out. You came here, didn't you?" Rose slammed him to the ground with her wind before quirking an eyebrow. "If you mean I flew to the bridge, then yes, I did. That's not what I meant. You're from..." Before Spandam could finish, Robin sprouted arms on Spandam's body and slapped him like there's no tomorrow. Rose used her wind to push the surrounding Marines into the ocean as she released the barrier to see Robin free of her sea stone cuffs. "Good to have you back, Robin." "Thank you, Rose." Robin held back her tears of joy as she put some of the charging Marines in a hold while Frankie and Rose fought the others off. They all stopped to see the ships from the Buster Call blast the roof of the Justice Building. "Usopp!" Nami, Rose and Robin yelled out, but the baby Den Den Mushi spoke up sounding like Nami. "Don't worry guys, we're okay. We're heading your way now. Just hold on until we get there." Rose sighed in relief. "Glad they're okay. Can you keep fighting, Robin?" Frankie asks as he and Rose get in a stance. "Of course. Men, you can kill the cyborg, but make sure both girls are alive." Spandam watches in shock as all three of them fought off the Marines one after the other. They all stop when the ships from the Buster Call approach the bridge and go past it to attack the island while the Marines on the bridge run away to the ship. Rose and Frankie turn to find Robin on her knees trembling, then look in shock to find a warship blasting its own ship in an attempt to stop Luffy. "Weren't your allies on that ship, Spanda?" Frankie says in rage as he cracks his knuckles while Rose stands protectively between Robin and the Marines. "It doesn't matter because it's all for justice. I hold the power of the Buster Call, so I have all the power. I'll make you a deal, Cutty Flam. Hand over the girls and I'll pardon you. Why even consider protecting them? One of them is the last demon of Ohara and the other an outsider who wants Spiritus away with Hell's Comet." "What did he say?" Rose's eyes widen in shock at the accusation but grits her teeth as she kept her stance while Spandam kept running his mouth. "You're not even a pirate, Cutty Flam. You should focus on helping the government that protects you instead of going down the path Tom did." Frankie cuts him off with a strong right. "You never know when to shut up, do you? I don't know about this comet, but I doubt this kid wants to spirit people away. Since you were wrong about Robin wanting to revive the weapon, why should I believe you about her? Freckles, the others are coming, right?" Rose blinks in surprise then grins. "Thanks, Frankie. No doubt about it. Then I'm on their side. I'd rather help pirates than world government s like you anyway." Spandam became furious and sent his elephant sword at them, but Frankie stopped it and slammed the elephant onto Spandam while Rose attacked the Marines that charged at her and Robin. Watching how protective they were calmed Robin down and got her to help the others fight off the Marines and steal the boat. "How are you feeling, Robin?" Rose asks as she sends the last Marine flying. "I'm alright, Rose. Things are different now. What did Spandam mean by Hell's Comet?" Rose looked down in worry. "Well, a giant splash shocks them to find Kokora in her mermaid form and bringing everyone but Luffy onto the deck." "Are you guys okay?" Rose went to each one to find them getting up. "Yeah, we're fine, thanks," Zoro says as he and the other guys look at Kokora in shock. "So you're a mermaid, Kokora? That's awesome. Is it true about the age 30 rule?" Rose says as she looks at her with excitement. "That's right. Once a mermaid turns 30, we're able to live on land because our fins split in two." "That's so cool." Rose looks at her with excitement while the others sweat drop at her reaction. Sniper King turns his head to Zoro. "Isn't she a little bit shocked at this?" Zoro waves his hand dismissively. "Just leave her alone." "Robin." Nami runs to hug Robin with Chopper clinging to her while Sanji tried to but missed. "We missed you. Are you okay?" Nami asked with tears in her eyes. "I'm alright. It's all thanks to you," Robin says with a smile on her face. Chopper falls off of Nami but Rose caught him. "What the? I can't move." "Don't worry, Doc. I think it's temporary," Rose says with a reassuring grin when the warships start to surround them. Everyone ran to the bridge to check on Luffy to find him still fighting Lucci. Crap, she got her staff out and ready when the Marines began to charge and begins to fight alongside the crew. "Luffy." Usopp takes off his mask after he sees Luffy on the ground. "What are you doing lying down, Luffy? Get up." Luffy turns his head in surprise to see Usopp. "Usopp? I'm only here to help Robin, cat guy. I'll be your opponent, come and get me." "Usopp, you idiot. You're no match for him, and what can you do?" "I'm gonna finish him off. Then get up and fight. We're not dead yet. Win so we can go back together, Luffy." Usopp's words encouraged him to stand up and get back in the fight with Lucci. "Well said, Usopp." Rose sent her flying and more are still coming. "Crap, if the others weren't here I could send a twister at them. Come on, Luffy." Gum Gum Gatling. Luffy finished the fight with Lucci and collapsed on the ground. "We're going back together, Robin." The crew cheered for Luffy's victory while the Marines stared in shock of Lucci's defeat. After their wave of happiness they were surprised that Luffy couldn't move. Usopp looks at him in shock. "Get up, Luffy. Rose, can't you fly him over here?" "It's possible, but like I said he would be a moving target for them." Nami blocks off a Marine before speaking. "We can't take the risk. Let's get on the ship and we can." Before she can finish, one of the warships blew up their escape ship. "What are we going to do now? That was our only escape," Frankie yells. "Shit. We're surrounded. Wait. What's that?" Rose hears a strange voice along with Usopp. "Whose voice is this?" Usopp is trying to figure it out, then looks into the ocean. "You can hear it too?" Usopp turns to her in shock as she looks into the ocean. "There's no doubt about it." "Usopp, are you thinking what I'm thinking?" Usopp nods, then takes a deep breath. Everyone jump into the ocean. Everyone but Rose turns to him in shock, then looks in the ocean to understand. Robin uses her devil fruit to drop Luffy to the ocean while everyone jumps and gets caught by the Going Merry. "Woo! I love you, Mary." Rose runs to the figurehead to hug her, then flies up to the sail to blast as much wind as possible while the others steer the ship to safety and escape the Buster Call. "Hey Sniper King, do you know where Usopp went?" Luffy asks as he and Chopper search for him after they reached safety from the Buster Call and meet up with Galila. Sanji whispers to Usopp in irritation. "They're asking for you, Sniper King." "I can't answer now," Usopp whispers before turning to the guys in Sniper King's mask. "Never fear. Usopp is safe. He went back first with a boat." Luffy and Chopper look at him in disappointment while Zoro sighs. Why don't they recognize him as Sniper King? Rose shrugs. "Just let it go. When he's ready to tell them, he'll do it." She leans on the rail but fell when the rail gave in and caught herself before hitting the water, then suddenly the entire ship starts to fall apart. Rose gave a soft look at the broken ship. "So it's time, huh?" Luffy turns to Galila desperately. "Ice Pops. Mary's in danger. Please do something, she's a member of our crew too." Iceberg sighs, then looks at the ship. I've never seen such an amazing ship that had the will to keep going after its limits for its crew. But, it's time to let her rest. The crew looks at the ship sadly, but nod in understanding as they get off the Mary one last time. As soon as they're at a safe distance, they watch Luffy get on a lifeboat close to the Mary and set the ship on fire for a Viking funeral. Mary, thank you for carrying us all this time. As Mary began to burn, memories of her life appeared in everyone's heads. Rose widened her purple eyes at the memories that came up. Holy shit, I'm on the Going Mary. I caught it. Awesome, that was so much fun. Can we do that again? Wow. This is an astronomer's dream? Tears streamed down her face as each memory popped up in her head as she holds her necklace. I'm sorry. The crew froze in shock at the sound of Mary's voice. I'm sorry I can't go on more adventures with you, but I'm happy. Luffy starts weeping as he yells out to Mary. We should be apologizing, Mary. I drove you to an iceberg. Sanji and Zoro always broke stuff. Usopp always tried to fix you, but he was never good at it. We're sorry. Almost everyone in the crew was weeping at Mary's voice as she kept talking. I was still happy with you. Rose couldn't keep her eyes off the Mary as tears kept falling. Mary, I wasn't with you for long, and on the day we met I even added to the damage by making a hole in you. I'm sorry. You gave me a home again, and for that the only thing I can say is thank you for everything, Mary. None of us will forget you no matter what. The tears couldn't stop as the crew heard the Mary's last words. Thank you for taking good care of me all this time. Once Mary's funeral finished, the only thing left behind was her beautiful memories with the Straw Hat Pirates.